When a college football season begins, everybody hopes to be a national champion. At the end of a season, only a handful still have a chance. New Year's Day '93, the real number may be just 2. From the Superdome in New Orleans, another one of those moments in sport that could grow into legend. A real live chance to produce a college football champion without a vote. ABC Sports College Football presents the USF&G Sugar Bowl. Number 1, Miami. Number 2, Alabama. And a happy new year, everybody. We hope you're all well, warm, and happy. And we have a little party in the Superdome tonight in New Orleans we think you're going to find very entertaining. This is the first time the Sugar Bowl has had a consensus 1 versus 2. There have only been 5 of those kind of games played in the postseason during all the time polls have been kept. And certainly having one finally happen in the Sugar Bowl is an exciting thing. Let's go back now to the posture of this consensus 1 and 2 because it features some of the great games in college football history. The first consensus 1-2 showdown came in the 1963 Rose Bowl. Quarterback Pete Beathard led Southern California to a 42-14 lead over Wisconsin. But quarterback Ron Vanderkellen led a raging comeback by the Badgers, falling just short at 42-37, and USC stayed number 1. The last time consensus 1 and 2 met was in the Fiesta Bowl, 1987. Miami came with Heisman-winning quarterback Vinny Testaverde, ranked number 1, but lost to number 2, Penn State, 14-10. And the coaches in the game tonight say they get no message from the past.
Everybody remembers that game and remembers the implications that were involved with that football game, and it was 1 versus 2. And our players are aware of that, but that was then. This is now.
What happened to them several years ago is not going to affect this football game.
We have a chance to win national back-to-back championships and going undefeated 2 straight years. That's history. And we're very aware of that.
This is just another big game for us.
Well, when you have won 29 straight and 22 straight, it doesn't take very long to figure out who's 1 and who's 2, does it?
With you at last, get yourself some out.
On Bourbon Street and down through the French Quarter, crowded and festive but fairly quiet, and everybody having a good time, including Bob Griese, who was out among them and behaved himself well last night. As the Miami Hurricanes come into this great big old house, Bob, they bring a lot of seasoning, they bring a lot of will, they bring a lot of excitement.
Well, and they also bring the Heisman Trophy winner in Gino Torretta.
They are the defending national champions, as you can see, and last time they were here, they defeated Alabama 33-25. But I think there's more wisdom in this team, isn't there?
There certainly is, and I think, you know, defense is what got both of these teams here. But it's the quarterbacks that are going to have to play well here today. Gino Torretta is impressive because, number 1, of his experience. He's starting his 29th game. He's only lost 1. He's won a national championship. The other thing is his intelligence. He knows when to and how to make big plays, and he doesn't turn the ball over. It's a great thing when you have the Heisman Trophy winner going against the number 1 defense.
The biggest roar, of course, is for the Alabama Crimson Tide because there's about 50,000 faithful stuffed into the Superdome. They know how to get the tickets, apparently, because they've been here so many times. Alabama, on the other hand, after having talked about Torretta, is led by a sophomore quarterback, Jay Barker.
And Barker has done nothing but win. He doesn't get a lot of respect because he's not pretty. He's undefeated as a starter, not a polished passer, and he cannot win this game with his arm. Gino Torretta might have to.
But the story about this game all along has been defense, defense, defense.
And for the Miami Hurricanes, it's Michael Barrow. And Barrow is not only an All-American, but he was a Player of the Year in the Big East, and he means as much to that defense as Torretta means to the offense.
Alabama, on the other hand, Gene Stallings ball club, led by two guys as good as I've seen in a long time at defensive end.
Well, in Curry and Copeland, they probably ruined Gino Torretta's trip over to New Orleans this week just thinking about him. The two of them, 40 career quarterback sacks coming into the ball game tonight.
There is just about everything in hand that one could want, including a very dramatic history of these two teams. Alabama dominated the 70s. Miami owned the 80s.
The USF&G Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of Lincoln luxury automobiles. By HBO. Think you've seen great entertainment before? HBO.
We're just about ready for the ball game. Gene Stallings walking the sidelines. Big chance for him to make a major point at home. Dennis Erickson has already made his point at home. The two coaches have been remarkable in their current jobs. The Miami Hurricanes, defending national champions, will have the ball first. Alabama won the first contest of the evening. They won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. The officials for the ball game, Southwest Conference. Rogers Redding, the referee. Playing inside, obviously they're on a rug. The deep people for Miami will be number 5, Kevin Williams, number 3, Jonathan Harris. And it has long been my feeling that the little men would have something to say about the outcome of this ball game. Michael Proctor getting ready to kick it off, and here is perhaps the most dangerous man on the entire roster for the Miami Hurricanes, Kevin Williams. He is a junior from Dallas, Texas. So let us play for the national championship. They kick it right to Williams at the 1. They pin him up short of the 20. George Teague, the first man to get there for Alabama. Number 13 right there. Gino Torretta, another number 13. Bit of a daring fellow there, coming out with 13 on himself. As a quarterback, he is 26-1. He has led this team to a national championship. He has won the Heisman Trophy. He is the most decorated player in Miami University football history. They will open with Donnell Bennett as the running back, and they will start from their own 18-yard line, first down. Double wide to the top of the picture. Miami will spread you all over the field. Torretta turns, throws to Bennett. 2 men in front of him, and he's taken down just over the 20-yard line. Sam Shade came up and got his man. Kevin Williams will be at a slot position, at a wide position occasionally. In fact, he will be a tailback on occasions. Donnell Bennett, as you saw, the lone back there. Horace Copeland and Lamar Thomas, with Coleman Bell the tight end, and it's Thomas who's perhaps the most dangerous of that group. It is the offensive line, however, that has been a big problem and story for Miami this season. Torretta working out of the shotgun. Alabama shows blitz. They don't go. They do get pressure with Curry in pursuit. Now they go get him. Run him down at the original line of scrimmage, the 18. It's Tommy Johnson who got there. The offensive front for Miami we were talking about, they will start tonight with 5 seniors up there. A lot of veterans, they're all fifth-year seniors after having had to play some freshmen and having to move Etheridge from a tight end to a tackle. Cristobal coming off injury. So the offensive line is in better shape tonight than it has been all season for Miami. It is 3rd down and 10 now for the Canes back at the 18. Alabama, they have 8 people up on the line. Out of the shotgun, they go after him. Got the heat on him. His pass is away, and the pass is dropped by Coleman Bell, incomplete. And so Alabama could come out of this with pretty good field position, as Miami will go to the punt, and Alabama will send David Palmer, number 2, deep, and he, like Kevin Williams, is a dynamite kick returner who can give you very good field position if he should miss the end zone. Paul Snyder, a senior from Laguna Niguel, California, is the punter. He's standing inside his 5. He'll hit it around the 8. Palmer waits at the 42. Low kick. Palmer's got room. 3 Canes coming after him. Runs between 2 of them. He's got a hole. He's all the way back down to the 24-yard line. That's field position. Donnell Bennett brought him down. The deuce has put Alabama's offense on the front porch.
As advertised, David Palmer, he's run 4 punts back in his career for touchdowns. He's only played 2 years at Alabama. He had 3 punt returns last year and 1 the first game of this year that he played.
If he takes it to the right side or to his right, he might have scored. 24-yard line, 1st down for Alabama. Barker turns, pitches to Lassick. He goes right up the middle and gets it down to the 20-yard line where Greer brings him down. Jay Barker is a young man, a sophomore from Trussville, Alabama, 6'5", 209. He's 16-0 as a starter. Kind of interesting that the place kicker for the Hurricanes of Miami, Pruitt, comes from Trussville, Alabama.
Good friends with Jay Barker, the quarterback for Alabama.
2nd down and 5. Big play here for Lassick. He's inside the 10. It's 1st and goal to go for the Tide. Jesse Armstead brought him down.
Watch the right tackle. That's going to be 77, Patterson. It's a little trap play. Alabama doesn't run a lot of traps, but they saw in the Syracuse game against Miami late in the year that some trap plays were successful. They put some traps in and some misdirection to go against that fast and quick Miami defense.
Derek Lassick is from Haverstraw, New York. He's 190 pounds. We saw him have a very big day against Tennessee. The referee, Rogers Redding, has called timeout and points toward Miami. Alabama threatening in a scoreless game. The story on the Alabama offense, as they have operated inside the 20-yard line this season, they have been quite efficient. Thank you.
Miami defensively, 23 times opponents have been in there. They've scored 16 of those 23.
Ball is just inside the 6-yard line. It's 1st down and goal for the Red Elephants, and Barker rolls it to the right, flips it, had the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. One of the Canes got his hand on it. I think it was Casey Greer, number 29. He had his man wide open, and just a little finger stopped it.
He's rolling out. Barrow runs through the opening, but there was nobody there. He was trying to hit the halfback.
Classic. He was wide open. So Casey Greer makes a big play for the Hurricanes. And it's 2nd down and goal for Alabama at the 6. 12 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the 1st quarter. Go to Lassick. Power football to the left side and down to the 3. Running into the boundary, hoping that the offensive blocking could outnumber the defense. And they get 3 yards on the play. Michael Barrow and Kevin Patrick on the tackle for the Canes.
The Hurricanes have given up 14 touchdowns this year, and only 4 of those 14 were on the ground. The other 10 in the air.
3rd and goal outside the 3. Miami defense being tested early. Set up by David Palmer's punt return. That was set up by Alabama's staunch defensive play in the first series. Barker rolls it right, cuts it back into the middle, dives for the goal line, and he can't get there. Robert Bass, number 49, a middle linebacker who had been added to the goal line defense, turned him back, and the kicking team is in.
Miami defensively coming into the game, scoring defense in the nation is third best. They only allow 12 points on an average. There was a hole there for a second. Barker couldn't get there quick enough, and the speed of Miami closed it up.
All right, he's taken it down at the 2-yard line, and here is Michael Proctor. It's a 19-yard field goal try. It's good. But in a way, you got to think that Miami feels like they won something too. Alabama got to 3 to lead it by a field goal. Well, both teams may have learned a little something as first and goal at the 6. The Tide is turned away by a tough Miami defense. And now the kickoff will go probably right to him again. The first time we opened the ball game, they kicked it right to Kevin Williams. They got him short of the 20. Let's see what they decide to do this time.
Alabama score, Keith, really set up, first of all, by the good defense, 3 and out for Miami, but then, of course, the punt return by David Palmer.
Proctor hits a good one. Inside the end zone, a yard deep. Williams is coming. Goes to the boundary looking for a hole. Not there. Lost the ball as he was hit on the boundary, but the ball went out of bounds, and again it is Teague coming down the field to belt him. So as Gino comes out for the Miami offense, here's a look at your Alabama defense.
And because Miami uses 3 wide receivers and only 1 back, Alabama will play with 4 defensive linemen right there, 2 linebackers, Lemansky, Hall, and Oden, and 5 defensive backs. Langham and Teague are the primary corners with all the interceptions.
You have Stephen McGuire, number 30, in the backfield now for the first time. He's been injured much of the season, but he's healthy. He's a good one. They give it to him. He slides along the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up a yard. 7 of the 11 all-SEC defensive players in 1992 came from Alabama. Curry, Copeland, Hall, London, Langham, Odom, and Teague.
And 4 of those players were All-Americans. As you take a look at how stingy the Crimson Tide have been in the first quarter.
2nd down and 9 for Miami. Things beginning to settle just a little bit. In a game of this stature, the first 5 minutes, the adrenaline is pounding. Now it seems to be settling a bit. Torretta out of the shotgun, buying a little time, getting the heat now, throws, pass complete, passes complete up to the 26-yard line to Horace Copeland. And Copeland is taken down rather firmly at the 26. Now let's say a Happy New Year to our partner, Jack Arute.
Happy New Year to everybody, too. Keith, you talked about this 50,000-plus Bama fans. Well, it certainly is a noisy, partisan crowd. But let me tell you what Rogers Redding, the referee for tonight's contest, told both teams in pregame meetings. He said he does not prefer to invoke the noise rule. He says, gentlemen, you will have to play through the noise. That could come into play tonight.
3rd down and about 4. Torretta lifting the leg, indicating to the center everything's all right. That little pop pass over the middle to Kevin Williams, and he's on his way across midfield. He's all the way down to the Alabama 39-yard line. They may put it on the 40, but there's the blazing speed of Kevin Williams coming to the fore.
They've been doubling the outside receivers out here. Here's Williams. He's not going to go downfield. He's going to come underneath the coverage, and he's going to hit the wide receiver on a little slant route, and he runs away from everybody else. If he goes downfield, they're going to double cover him, so he comes across field and makes a big play on the run.
Number 10, Tommy Johnson's the man that ran him down. Ball is just an inch or so inside the 40-yard line. Torretta goes back under center to a 1-back offense set. Stands up quickly, lets it go down the middle, and the pass was incomplete, intended for Darrell Spencer, number 35. He is another fellow who is listed as a tailback, but in fact plays in a wide position more than he does the running back position. Alabama is leading in the ball game on a 19-yard field goal, 3-0. Torretta is now 3 for 5, 42 yards, and has been taken down one time. There, his career. Very impressive numbers.
The thing about Torretta, too, Keith, he doesn't turn it over. Over 400 passes this year, only 7 interceptions.
Donnell Bennett back in the lineup. Big fella, 227. Now he steps up into a slot, so it's a no-back set. And Torretta drops back and throws, and he hits his man right on the numbers. Jonathan Harris, number 3, 5'9", 165-pound sophomore out of Houston, Texas. He turned and angled for the marker, and he went just past it. First down, Miami. Quite a story about the fellow who wears that Ibis suit.
That's right. John Ruth, the Miami Ibis, was down on Bourbon Street and was struck by a bullet they think was fired in celebration from far away. It came straight down and just grazed him. Grazed his cheek. He's all right in uniform tonight.
First down, put it on the 29 of Alabama. Miami's beginning to mount its first threat, but nothing there this time as Stephen McGuire, the senior out of Brooklyn, New York, is put on his back for a loss of a couple of yards. We'll show you the scores of other games. The Southeastern Conference, incidentally, is doing very well in the postseason. They're undefeated so far. And there is one more game to be played tomorrow. Mississippi State playing in the Peach Bowl. Stanford had a big win for them today, and you see Georgia, Ohio State. That was a good ball game down in the Citrus Bowl. Ball comes back to the 32, where it is second down and 13 for Miami, and Torretta drops back again to the shotgun. It's a short shotgun, puts it high in the air, and the Miami receiver going down the sidelines, Kevin Williams, had no chance to get to it. Right here, let us take 5 seconds so our ABC stations across the country can tell you who they are. Three to nothing, Alabama leading. Miami got a little threat going here on third down and 13. The ball resting at the Alabama 32-yard line. Stallings there. You just saw Dennis Erickson, the coaches.
Keith, I was just going to say Alabama doing a nice job defensively of mixing up their coverages, giving Gino Torretta a lot of different looks.
John Copeland is in a down position right now and playing over at guard. There's a long pass to the sidelines intended for Lamar Thomas. He looked inside, then looked outside, and by that time he had no chance, and there was pretty good coverage again. In fact, there were 2 Alabama people over there. The Michigan Wolverines get a win, 38-31 over the Washington Huskies. And so Gary Moeller can probably go home to a little peace now.
Well, they haven't won too many Rose Bowls in the last few trips out there.
All right, this will be a 39-yard field goal try for Dane Pruitt. 49 yards for field goal try. Got a lot of leg on it. And made it. So Pruitt hits from 49 yards, and we're all even at 3 with 7:49 to go in the first quarter. The championship ring that goes with a history like that. The Sugar Bowl is listed a lot there because the Southeastern Conference champion goes to the Sugar Bowl. That's a contractual commitment. But in times past, Alabama was known to appear in the Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl, and so on it goes. As a matter of fact, I had a telephone call from a gentleman the other day and said, you know, we weren't too bad back in the 20s and 30s either. And he's right, they weren't. High hanging kick. Should be pretty good coverage on this as Palmer gets a hold of it, slips out of the arms of a couple of Canes and comes up across the 25 to the 26. Malcolm Pearson finally brought him down. Now we've got a chance here to set the Alabama offense as a little fracas breaks out over there, but it's over on the Miami sideline, and Dennis Erickson's looking for a big snap to get his people back on the bench and quiet. So the offensive unit for Alabama lines up this way with Derek Lassick, the running back. Houston is the big blocking fullback. And the wideouts are Kevin Lee and Wembley, with the Lee being the swiftest of the swift on the team. The offensive line, not among the biggest, but Toby Shields at center is rated by everybody who's sent a team against him as one of the better centers in the country. And here's young Barker now, ready for his second chance. Last time he was given the ball on the Miami 24-yard line, came away with 3 points. Now he gets the football at his own 26-yard line. They put Lassick in motion. Turns and throws the other way, trying to get everybody coming this way, and Prince Wembley making the catch. But he didn't fool a whole lot of people, because the coverage, Dexter Siegler was there looking him right in the eye. Siegler, number 34. The Miami defensive front, we talked about Klein and Patrick, and so is everybody else in the country. They're almost in the class of Copeland and Curry, and there are times when they are equal. The linebackers, all those people have their degrees, and in fact they're all graduate students. All of them, all three.
All fifth-year seniors.
All fifth-year seniors. Ryan McNeil in the secondary is the All-American for the Canes. Barker gives it to Lassick. He cuts it back into the middle. He gets the first down. He takes it to the 39-yard line, where Terrace Harris brings him down.
We talked about Toby Shields, the center, right in front of the quarterback. Watch as he slides around and gets the block on the middle linebacker, Barrow. Barrow said the other day this will be key for him to avoid the block of Shields. Barrow didn't get there, and a nice pickup by Alabama.
Toby Shields from Fairhope. Down by Mobile. This is Lassick again, who comes from Haverstraw, New York. And that's a good hard run for 5 yards. Runs into Kevin Patrick, the junior out of Lake Worth, Florida, who takes him down. He had 33 carries in the ball game at Tennessee. He said he was sore for a week.
Gene Stallings was telling me yesterday that Alabama is going to run a few more traps and a little bit of misdirection to try to slow down the pursuit and the speed of the Miami Hurricanes. That was a trap right there.
2nd down and 5. Canes have 6 people up on the line of scrimmage. Back it goes to Lassick again. Kind of picks his way through there. And he's very close to another first down. His mark, however, doesn't look all that friendly. 6 carries, 37 yards for the New Yorker, who may in fact become an Alabama.
What Alabama wants to do, obviously, and it fits their style very well, is control the football. They are not a great passing team. They do like to run the football, averaging over 200 yards per game rushing and 150 yards passing.
3rd down and a short yard. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, a 3-3 tie. Lassick dives for his first down try and gets a very good surge by the offensive line, which carries him across midfield, and that will be good enough. He kind of got up on top and rode the mule, didn't he?
Well, I think he got up on top, and then the mules down below just kind of kept pushing.
Yep. Watch the surge of the offensive line. Now he goes up on top, and they just carry him with him.
There at the end, he finds a crack and falls forward.
Yep. Chris Anderson checks into the ball game with Terrence Lynch. They line up in the backfield behind Barker, and he drops to throw the ball. A little flip inside, and I don't know, did he flip it or did he hand it?
That was that little flip.
He had a little flip pass, yeah.
That was a little flip that Florida used against Alabama. Watch this. Gene Stallings copying this from Florida, because this is what Florida did to them. He goes by him and then flips it forward.
He dropped it.
Yep. That's a forward pass, incomplete forward pass.
So Anderson fails to catch the ball.
Imitation is the best form of flattery, and Gene Stallings says, hey, if it works against us, we may put it in.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball is at the Miami 49-yard line. 3-3 tie, first quarter of play. coming. They get him back at the 44-yard line. So the young sophomore could not get rid of it. They sent 8 people up on the line. They blitzed them. Marley and Barrow got to him, and it's a loss of about 7 yards.
Here are the 2 linebackers, Keith. The Hurricanes don't blitz a lot, but when they do, they usually get to the quarterback. Alabama does not throw well. They do not pick up blitzes well, and Barker does not read coverage well. Here's an ISO on Barrow. Fights off the block and gets there.
Anderson is the single back now for the Tide with 3 wideouts, and Barker on 3rd down and long lets it go, and it's going to be picked off. Bad pass. Real bad pass. And it's intercepted by Casey Greer, who returns the football all the way down to about the Alabama 35-yard line. I can't exactly tell in the crowd over there where the linesman has marked it. Now he puts it at the 39.
Top right of your screen, that's Greer. He's going to try to hit the wide receiver on a slant. This is just a poorly thrown ball. You can't throw that ball. That's a double coverage. And if the receiver doesn't get there in time, all he can do is knock it away. And that's an easy pickoff for Greer.
And those kind of mistakes will get you beat.
Poor decisions, Keith.
Yep.
Poor decisions, and that's what caused when you're forced to throw the ball.
Miami's running game is a -2. Their passing game so far in the first quarter, 52. They get the ball with 4:18 to go in the first quarter in a 3-3 tie. And they will own it at the Alabama 39. Talk to me about the shotgun formation, Bob. It's not a pronounced shotgun at all, is it? It's quite close.
The Hurricanes didn't have this at the beginning of the season. They put it in about midway through, and what it does for Torretta, he's not real quick getting away from center. It allows him to see the rush. He's back in the pocket, 5 yards already. He sets up, he can feel the rush which way it's coming, and allows him to slide one way or the other.
It isn't 5, wouldn't 7 be even better?
Well, you're 5 yards deep, you get the ball, and then you go back 5 short steps, so you're back 7 to 9 yards.
Okay. So here's Miami now with an opportunity as Bennett lines up in the backfield with the quarterback. He, in effect, becomes the personal protector for Torretta. Underneath, ball thrown to Bennett, who had his block and then slid off the block to become a receiver, and he'll move the ball to the 36. Pickup of about 3 yards. Next Saturday on ABC Sports, the premiere of the 1993 Professional Bowlers Tour, 3 Eastern and Pacific. World's best bowlers going to Torrance, California for the AC Delco Classic. And then Kitty and Peter Carruthers join the world's top skaters on the ice for pairs and dance competition. Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions next Saturday on ABC Sports. 2nd down and 7 from the 36. Novak this time. Thomas coming back into the middle. Wide receiver coming down the pipe. Fumbles the football. Alabama may have it. A lot of red shirts went after it. They got it. So Lamar Thomas gets hit on the arm. The ball falls out. And the Crimson Tide gets it.
It's a wide receiver screen, Keith. You've seen it a lot this year in college football. Here's Thomas here. Now watch the offensive lineman go down and block as he comes in back behind him and gets the football. Now if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage in college football, you can go down and block before the ball is caught. But that's Johnson, number 10, who sacked the quarterback earlier, who causes the fumble.
And Willie Gaston, number 22, jumps on it.
Alabama showing that Miami, you're not the only one that has speed. We've got some speed on our side.
So from the 23, Barker gives it to Lassick, and he's taken down for a loss back at the 20. Number 56, Michael Barrow. Yes, you'll hear his name a lot tonight.
There's a look at the turnovers, and if you like defense, you've come to the right game. These teams are 2 of the top. In fact, Alabama coming in was the #1 defensive team in the nation, and Miami is up there in every defensive category in the nation.
2nd down and 13. Lassick in motion. Give it to Houston. Lynch. And the big guy, Terrence Lynch, in at fullback, calls it across the 30 and out close to the 33. So Lynch at 224 and Houston at 235 are two big blocking fullbacks, and occasionally they get the ball.
That's a key word, Keith, occasionally. I think Miami was a little surprised that the fullback in that set carrying the football.
Now Palmer has come into the lineup. Houston has come back. Palmer is a wideout. Lynch is in there with Houston. Now this time there's not a whole lot there as they try for the first down, but it was the second effort, and the surge, I think, was enough to get Martin Houston the ball. And the first down.
Take a look at the left side defensively. It's Lopez 71, Crine is 91, Smith, the outside linebacker, Barrow 56, fills the hole and stuffs it. There's just not a lane there for Houston to slip through.
So they stood him up all right, but they couldn't hold him. Now Palmer goes into that backfield, and the ball is given away to Lassick. And Derek Lassick turns it around the corner. They're using Palmer a lot this whole season as a decoy. And every once in a while you look up and suddenly he's got the ball and coming at you out of the backfield. Time remaining 2:16 in the first quarter of play. And a 3-3 tie between Miami and Alabama. Florida State, number 3 team in the country, playing in the Orange Bowl and shutting out Nebraska in the second quarter. Palmer is the man in motion. Broken play. Barker got a little room. He can run. And will for a first down. Broken play, and the Alabama quarterback gets loose for a first down.
Well, this is the strength of Jay Barker. If there is, it's certainly not his passing. He's not distinguished himself throwing the ball. In high school, he was a wishbone quarterback only in his senior year. He didn't play until he was a senior, didn't play quarterback. Came here and is doing an outstanding job running the ball. Just needs a little bit more work throwing the ball. Of course, Alabama doesn't throw it that much, doesn't need to.
Same setup with Lassick, the remaining back. Armstead. And Jesse Armstead, blitzing, had his hands wrapped around Barker, but he got rid of the ball. Threw it into the middle of Darren Smith, but the point is he didn't make the mistake of taking the sack.
Too slow developing. Right here is the man he wants to get it to. Palmer's going to be going out. But look at Armstead right here. When the play develops, he is in the backfield. A slow fake. Now he's got to turn around. You don't have time to do that.
Not against Miami.
The other linebacker, Smith, was in there to knock it down. Jesse Armstead, one of those fifth-year senior linebackers. Alabama was 64 yards rushing and only 6 yards passing.
Second down and 10. Trying to throw the ball to Lassick, and Warren Sapp, number 76, was all over him. So Barker makes his second bad throw of this first quarter.
That's a little screen pass, Keith, a poorly conceived screen pass. The lineman went downfield, and Sapp, a defensive tackle, was right there with him. Barker now is 1 of 6 with 6 yards and that interception.
Lassick is out of the lineup now. Palmer is at a wideout. So is Kevin Lee. And Chris Anderson is the single back. Ball is at the Miami 48-yard line. Third down and 10. Barker's pass for Wembley. Intercepted. Picked off by Ryan McNeil. He threw a wounded goose, and McNeil shut it down.
There's a look at ground level. It's going to be coming right at you. If Alabama can't run the football, they're going to be in trouble. This ball's too high. He had him open for a split second. Then 47 McNeil gets back and makes the play. That's 2 interceptions in 7 passes for Barker.
And we continue at a 3-3 tie. Call it a dime package, 6 DBs, but now here come the linebackers back into the line.
Bill Oliver, defensive coordinator, showing Torretta during the timeout 6 defensive backs in the game. Then when the time was whistled in, he took 2 of them out and changed the defense. Now he's changing it back. The mind games that are going on right here.
Torretta called his play, and then Oliver sent the 6 defensive backs back into the ball game, and Alabama's got 11 people up on the line of scrimmage. Torretta obviously is going to check off and change the play. And now Antonio Langham dropped off for a second. And he lets it go. He's throwing it for Copeland, and Copeland has no chance to get to it. He is mired in traffic. He was absolutely covered. There were 3 people with him.
Alabama giving a lot of different looks defensively. And here they are, what they are in the nation. Alabama leads in total defense and rushing defense, and they're second in scoring in pass defense. The last 5 or 6 weeks, they have led in every defensive category, but since the SEC championship game against Florida, they fell down in the pass and scoring categories. It's kind of tough when you fall to second, isn't it?
Second down and 10. The ball is on the 23 of Miami. 3-3 tie, 1:45 to go, first quarter. And Torretta calls a timeout. That's their second timeout of the first half. So he's looking for a little help from the sidelines with all of this moving around of the Alabama defense. Now let's check in with Jack Arute.
Well, Keith, earlier this afternoon, Coach Dennis Erickson called a private meeting with only his players. And what he proceeded to tell those players was something that they had known all year. You know, at the beginning of the year, they lost 2 of their former players, Shane Curry and Jerome Brown, in separate and very tragic accidents. Well, he informed the players that as they had dedicated their season to those 2 fallen comrades, he felt that it was necessary to bring both Brown and Curry's parents to this game. They are sitting in the stands behind me. And what Erickson told the team was, we are family, they should be here, and the team has dedicated tonight's game to the memory of Jerome Brown and Shane Curry.
Okay, Jack. 1:48 to play in the first quarter. Dennis Erickson, who just had a contract extension through 1999. So that should quiet the rumors of him going pro immediately, though I suspect there's some kind of an escape clause there.
Right.
One would think.
Isn't there always?
Yep.
But he wants to stay in Miami. He has said that over and over.
So from the 23, second down and 10 for the Canes. A little bit of a delay to Kevin Williams, and they eat him up inside the 15. The play was bungled up. Alabama was coming. It was a slow developing play, and there was just no chance. They buried him.
Curry and Copeland together. Something a little different, something that Miami has not seen. 94 and 80. They're upfield. They don't know. Hey, this is a passing situation, a passing team. Oh, reverse is coming back. I'll take this guy. He's a lot smaller than I am.
Is that amazing that they ran that counter exactly at him?
Miami is confused, Keith. Bill Oliver, defensive coordinator, has done a nice job with Alabama moving around a lot of personnel.
Miami right now is minus 13 yards rushing. Out of the shotgun, Torretta lets it go to the sidelines. Too high. Pass intended for Kevin Williams. It is 4th down.
He had him open. He just was looking downfield and saw the coverage and tried to come back to the outlet and just overthrew him.
So David Palmer comes ambling onto the field, the sophomore out of Birmingham. Alabama's got everybody up on the line, 10 of them. No pressure on Snyder. The kick is away, and Palmer drifts under it at the 43. Look at how quick he is. That's a fine open field tackle by number 19, C.J. Richardson for Miami. so Alabama once again comes out of this with a very good field position as Gino Torretta had his troubles in that last series. Palmer shaking his head, realizing that if he gets by that one man that took him down, he might still be going.
Miami can't run the ball. They've only tried 4 times, minus 13 yards. That is not their strength. Alabama needs to run the football. They're averaging 4.6 per carry. That is very good.
Ball is on the 48-yard line. First down for the Tide. Ball is given to Lassick. Penalty flags on the field. The first time we've seen the yellow cloth tonight. Southwest Conference team of officials. There they are, Rogers Redding, the referee, man in the white hat. Offside, Miami. I was just thinking as I looked at that list of officials, have you ever seen a list of Southwest Conference officials that didn't have a man named Bible on it? There's a lot of folks named Bible.
I don't know, but I'll start looking from now on.
It'll be first down and 5 as the ball goes over to the Miami side of the field and rests now at the 47. Kevin Lee is that man split wide at the bottom of your picture there. Lassick is the man in motion. They hand it to the big guy, the up back, Martin Houston. He's from Center, Alabama, and Michael Barrow is right there button heads with him, along with Kevin Patrick.
Another trap play. The right guard was pulling, and Michael Barrow read the trap and got up there and made the play.
It'll be second down and 5 as we come to the end of the first quarter of play. And after 1 at the USF&G Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, the championship game, a 3-3 tie. Tomorrow, or is it Sunday, the New Orleans Saints and Philadelphia Eagles play here?
Sunday.
And he said we may have 2 football games played in the Dome, and collectively they may not score 10 points. This is Derek Lassick getting some blocking, finding daylight, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line of Miami. Terrace Harris stayed with him and shoved him out. A tough run by Derek Lassick.
Here's a look at Darren Smith, 45. He's going to be blocked to the outside by Houston. Just a little shove. He tried to get around and make a play. It's going to be to your left. Watch the block of the fullback. Barrow gets pushed out by Shields. An arm tackle won't do it. And Lassick with a big gain.
First down, Bama at the Canes 23. Lassick stays in at tailback. Has it again. Runs into the middle, and he is taken down. Injury to a key man for the Canes. Let's check with Jack Arute.
Well, Keith, we do have a key injury. Behind me is Horace Copeland. He came off in that last series complaining of a sprained knee. That's what Dr. John Uribe has diagnosed it. They have added this brace to add some support to that right knee. Right now, the doctor says he's questionable as to whether he'll return. They're going to keep him out at least for a series or so.
An enormous loss if he can't come back, particularly in light of the point that Bob just made, that Miami has shown no ability so far to run the ball. Call it second down and 9 and move the ball to the 23. Whoa, what a block. Barker with a good run back into traffic. Number 2 for Miami, Rohan Marley. They call him the Rat because he is so quick. He came flashing through. Somebody took his legs from under him, and yet he was still involved in the pursuit.
Right side of your screen, number 2. Watch as he dives over the block. Tries to make the play. Now watch him. He's going to get up and have another shot at Barker. Barker doubles back, and he almost gets him.
That's Bob Marley's son, the reggae entertainer. I'm sure many of you have been entertained so many times by the late Bob Marley. That's his boy. Third down and 4. Palmer in motion. Let's throw the ball to him. He's got it at the 11, out of bounds, and it's first down, Alabama. So Barker completed the pass in the face of the blitz.
This is the type of passing Alabama does best. The simple stuff. Quarterback just throwing a quick out to the wide receiver. Little hitch, wide receiver screen. If it gets any more complicated than that, it's kind of tough. But when you blitz and you have man in the secondary and you have a guy with the speed of Palmer, that's a big first down right there for Alabama.
So they're knocking on the door here early in the second quarter of play and a 3-3 tie. Lassick. Penalty flag as he goes down. You may have a face mask. You may have had one back up the field away. Now you get another flag thrown by one of the officials in the end zone. The man in the white hat will tell you about it. It's going to be against Miami.
He had a great block on the play, Keith, by the fullback, Houston.
Mark Caesar's taken off his hard hat and is walking around doing a little lobbying, but the conference continues with the officials. I thought there might have been a face mask at about the 6 or 7 yard line. No flag called there. And then as they got down to the goal line, you had a couple of flags.
We have a face mask foul against the white team.
There is a face mask call against Miami.
First down. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against the red team. 15-yard penalty, first and goal.
All right, Alabama gets hit. And I didn't hear him, Bob.
His microphone was out. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Alabama. And you face mask on Miami, and you do the major penalty. Watch the block on number 1 to the left of your screen. That's number 1. Watch Houston right here, number 35, as he just lays Armstead down. And Lassick with some nice moves. There's the face mask right there.
Well, it could have been some celebrating. I don't know. But the ball comes back out to the 15-yard line where it's first down and goal to go. And the pitch goes to about the 12 for Sherman Williams, who is in the game, number 20. Williams bringing fresh legs to the attack now, a sophomore, 190-pounder from Mobile.
Here's a look at the first quarter stats, the things that jump out at you. Miami with only 2 first downs and minus 13 yards rushing. Alabama only 6 yards passing, and the 2 interceptions for the Crimson Tide.
Williams and Lynch in the backfield behind Barker on second down and goal. Give it to Williams right up the middle for the 5-4. Almost got in there, but he took a hard lick. I think it was Greer who's getting up a little slowly, but Casey Greer just sold out trying to make the tackle and took a lick.
Just straight blocking. Nobody's pulling. The fullback Lynch, that's 45, gets a block on Barrow, and Greer comes in and just tries to throw a shoulder into him, number 29. That won't get it. The Hurricanes lost both safeties off of this team from last year, and if you have a weakness defensively, it's probably the 2 safeties coming up and tackling.
Third and goal from the 4. Give it to Lassick. Head on. I mean head on with Michael Barrow and Mark Caesar.
Miami is a quick defense, Keith. They run well from side to side. One of the problems they've had periodically in the last few years is stopping a power running team that comes right at you. Now, Sonny Lubick, the defensive coordinator, said if we can't stop them, we can do some other things. 5-man line and blitz.
This looks like it might be about 23 yards for Michael Proctor. He hit a 19-yarder for the first score of the ball game. He adds the 23, and Alabama goes back to the lead by a score of 6-3. And Proctor takes a wallop himself. Paul White slides into him. Oh, that's a little acting job there. Not bad, though, I got to say, Michael. You've got showing some promise. 6-3, Alabama leads at 10:48 to go in the first half.
Continuing coverage of the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew.
Gene Stallings is red hot. I mean, he could bite a 10-penny nail and not even think about it right now, and he's still mad about the unsportsmanlike conduct call. And the only thing that we can find anywhere or anybody saw was the spinning of the ball in the end zone and a little celebration by apparently Lassick, and one of the officials came in late, threw a flag on it, and that's what was called.
Well, he would have had the ball on the 1-foot line. Instead, got it way back at about the outside the 10, and ended up not getting 6 points out of it, and had to settle for a field goal.
But I'll tell you right now, Beebs is stimulated. 35-yard line where Alabama will kick it from. Proctor nailed it. Kevin Williams, 2 yards deep in the end zone, is coming out. Going for the sideline. And George Teague is waiting for him. That's 3 times Teague has made the tackle on a kickoff. So George has become the headhunter tonight.
Teague is the starting right corner. He led the SEC in interceptions last year and again this year. In fact, this year he tied with Antonio Langham, his partner, at the other corner.
Here's, I think, something of a revealing stat. But it can be, I should say that. But, you know, the 2 games that we did where they beat Florida State and then went up to Penn State and won that game. Oh, boy. Alabama showing 10 people up on the front. They're just head up with them right now. And Torretta with a quick drop, looks to throw, and he can't do anything with it. There's just nobody there. He had Kevin Williams coming downfield. And Torretta never had any chance at all to get the ball to Williams.
Well, what are they doing to Gino and the University of Miami? Well, they're confusing him right here. All 11 men are at the line of scrimmage defensively. Now, what does he try to do? He tries to throw the ball quickly to the wide receiver down here, and he's ready to throw a quick out, and the receiver is running straight up the field.
Second down and 10. You got a man playing center field for Alabama. Curry coming around the corner, missed him. He's taken down, and Torretta takes off, and Gino's got a first down, sliding all the way to the 43-yard line. Let's go back to that penalty. First, you had the face mask call against Miami as Alabama was threatening. Here's that penalty right there. Now let's go ahead here for the penalty against Alabama.
He thinks he scores, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a flag that went in for the
face mask. Now he spins the ball.
Oh,
and there goes the flag.
That's awful close right there.
Picky.
In a national championship game.
That's picky.
That's pretty close right there.
First down for Miami at the 43. It's a big ball game. I need the kids to play it. Give it to Bennett. And Donnell Bennett showing his mettle as he pounds for about 6 before Willie Gaston finally succeeds in getting him on the ground. Bennett's a big guy, 227 pounds. Clock rolling along in the first half of play, 9:45 to go, and Alabama leading 6-3. We've had 3 field goals in the game so far. Florida State leading Nebraska 20-7 at halftime in the Orange Bowl. Southeastern Conference having a banner year in postseason play with 1 game remaining after this one. They're undefeated. Torretta checks off, spins his last timeout. That is Miami's 3rd timeout of the first half. So Alabama's defense got him confused. He goes to the sidelines and asks for some help. No, Torretta, the 5th-year senior, has had his troubles with this Alabama defense.
He's had 2 problems, Keith. Number 1, it's been the Alabama defense confusing him, and he's had to take some timeouts when he tried to check off. And the other thing has been the noise. What you can do on that is you just have to have some plays that are good against anything that the defense is going to throw up there, and just go with it.
It is 2nd down and 4 with Bennett, the single back. Fumble by Torretta, coming away on the snap, covers the ball. Gino falls on it back at the 45. you get a little bit of a ruckus there. I mean, with Curry. Curry gets tangled up with Coleman Bell and number 72, Mario Cristobal, and Rogers Redding is in the middle of it. Now, Cristobal is 280 pounds, Curry is 265, and both of them chew bark for breakfast.
and the referee's about 190. He just pulled out a little bit, looking the other direction. You expect that ball to be there. It's like a no-brainer, and that cost him a down there.
3rd and 9 after the fumble. They go to the shotgun. Pretty good protection. Down the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Sam Shade. Sam's inside the 35, down to the 31.
Take a look at what they're doing. They're doubling the 2 outside receivers over here. The man he tries to get the ball to is the tight end down the middle. Now watch as the man covering the tight end, that's Shade. If you stop it right there, stop it. There he is, right there, and he intercepts the ball. Good coverage, doubling the outside and running with the inside man.
And the Tide is operating at the Miami 31 with Derek Lassick, the single back. He's got the ball. And he pounds his way down to the 28-yard line. The Alabama defense, since Gene Stallings took over in Tuscaloosa, has 61 pass interceptions in 37 ball games. Well, he brought some kind of a message in playing with him, didn't you? I think probably named Bill Oliver, don't you reckon?
Well, Oliver was a key, and they were 4th in the nation in turnover margin. They had a plus 18 coming into the ball game. They'd taken it away 18 more times and they'd given it away.
Lassick again. Big hole. They're back down, knocking on the door again at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Jesse Armstead and Casey Greer finally got him down. And Derek Lassick has 15 carries, and with 7 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half, has 105 yards.
Just a little toss. Linebacker right there, Barrow's going to overrun it. Now big 77 Patterson in red right there downfield trying to help out. That's a double. Watch the fullback again. That's Houston, number 35. The middle linebacker Barrow misses it.
So it's 1st and goal. Give it to Lassick. To the 1. Roosevelt Patterson, that's 6'4", 295, and he was right down there at his running back's elbow trying to lend a hand.
I tell you what, though, Lassick can thank his fullback and his tight end, Buskey, 83, and the fullback, Houston, because those 2 guys, even though they are eligible receivers, are really offensive lineman types, and they really can block.
2nd down and goal from the 1. Lassick, nothing at the top. Tried to go over the top, and that's a pretty hard thing to do.
Miami, as I mentioned, tough to score on. 3rd in the nation scoring defense. They just toughen up. That's a good play. That's Bass,
Bass,
49, the backup inside linebacker.
But they're all in there. Paul White, who's a corner, he was down under the bottom of it. That's fact. They're all up there involved. 3rd down and goal from the 2, and Sherman Williams checks in. Williams in the middle, touchdown. Ruth Ann Stallings, John Mark. Michael Proctor. will try the point out of Jeff Wall's hold. Matthew Pine will snap it. The interception by Sam Shade led to this touchdown for Alabama. Kick is good. 6:09 to play in the first half. It is now Alabama 13, Miami 3. Another look at the touchdown by Williams. Little move to the left. He takes it back into the middle, and plenty of daylight. For the Crimson Tide with 6:09 to go in the first half. Tomorrow we've got the NFL here on ABC Sports beginning at 12 noon Eastern with a doubleheader. First game will have the defending champion Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. That's in the house in Minneapolis. And then they go west as Kansas City goes west to take on the AFC Western champion San Diego Chargers. That's tomorrow on ABC Sports.
What a great job Bobby Ross has done out there in San Diego.
Stan Humphries is going to play, Bob. They've got a harness for him, and it wasn't that.
That's his left shoulder, so he throws right. As long as it's his shoulders and not mine, he can play, right?
Yes. Proctor hangs it high, and Williams at the 6. Kevin bounces out of one tackle and is finally taken out of bounds up around the 32-yard line. Williams, like Palmer, you think you got him and they're going to knock this little guy down, huh?
Yep.
All of a sudden you're still looking at his hip pocket going the other way. The numbers there on the Alabama scoring drive, but again it was set up by the defense. The interception by Shade. Now let's see if they've been able to sort things out on the sideline for Gino Torretta. McGuire will check in at the running back position. Stephen McGuire. See if Miami, what they elect to do. Will they try to run in a different manner, or will they go to one of those wideouts? They got 3 of them to the bottom of the picture. They're going to run it with McGuire. And he pops through there about 3 yards, and we go down to Jackaroo.
Keith, we're really happy to see this guy on the sidelines, Michael Rogers, who was involved in a very scary automobile accident Christmas Eve. Michael, you got out of the hospital a couple of days ago, but you can't play in this game. You're okay, though.
Oh, well, yeah. I found out, you know, I was unhurt, harmed real bad, and I found out that I'd be able to dress out and stand on the sideline and cheer for the guys. I knew I wouldn't be able to play for it. I knew I'd be able to be here, though. Yeah.
Well, we're happy to see him, Keith.
Little adrenaline running there anyway, isn't it? 2nd down and 7. Crowd really warmed up now. Those wearing red. And McGuire tries the right side. And nothing behind Vickers and Cristobal and Green. You know, this 10-pointer you see there, the 10-point deficit in the first half is, as you see, the largest deficit that Miami has had this season. He got a man down, a Miami player. Is that Torretta?
Looks like Cristobal.
Cristobal? Can't see. And he's too big to be Gino. It's 72. It's Cristobal. Yeah. So timeout for Mario Cristobal. Well, they've got Cristobal to the sidelines. The way he was hit, one would have guessed it might have had something to do with one of his legs or an ankle.
72 right there in the middle of your screen. Looks like he's going to get pushed. Right at the end of this. Right at the end of this, gets pushed right there.
Yeah.
Hurricanes have lost a right tackle who really solidified a lot of leadership when he came back.
Zev Lumelski checks in to replace him. It is 3rd down and 7. They are 1 out of 5 in 3rd down conversions. Torretta throws down the middle. It's incomplete, low, intended for Jonathan Harris. And so it's 4th down, and they'll have to punt.
They were all up there again, Keith, showing him blitz. They either come or they don't come. Look at them, all 11 at the line of scrimmage. Torretta reads it and tries to throw it quickly. They're coming. He can't block it. They throw it, and he just makes a poor throw.
And David Palmer waits for the punt. Header knocks it all the way back to the 23. Palmer's looking at 4 white shirts. No place to go. Down at the 21. So you got 4:41 now as Alabama gets the ball back First down at their own 21-yard line. And Sunday night, ABC is the one network that'll tell you the whole story. One of the controversial stories, Drew Barrymore, Amy Fisher, and the Amy Fisher story, After Life Goes On. America's Funniest Home Videos and America's Funniest People. Sunday here on ABC. Chris Anderson and Tarrant Lynch in the backfield. Give it to Anderson. He's quick. And coattailed by Casey Greer, who's having a very good defensive ball game for the Miami Hurricanes. You know, Anderson and Williams are 2 of the 4 running backs that Alabama's going to have back next year. If you're a quarterback looking for a place to play and you're a running back looking for a place to run, Tuscaloosa is a pretty good place to apply, I'd say.
Yes, sir.
They're short in those positions. Second down and 8. That's Lynch pounding to about the 27. Guy leading it is John Stevenson. That is Mario Cristobal, who was hurt. Taken out of the ball game. Can't tell if they're working on a knee, but it looks like they're
either the knee or the ankle, something.
Yeah. Third down and 3 now for Alabama. Barker hands it. And there will be no first down as Anderson is taken down quickly by Jesse Armstead. I think it's quite remarkable that all 3 of the starting linebackers for Miami have all graduated, all have their degrees. Kevin Williams drops back. Now let's see if he can give his team some field position.
Well, Miami needs a spark. They've been dominated defensively by Alabama.
This is Brian Deal's first punt of the night. He had a bit of a hard time late in the game against Florida. Doesn't get this one to turn over, but it does take an Alabama bounce. Good one. That's the old rug for you. All the way down to the 15-yard line, totals 57 yards. In fact, it traveled about 35. Here is Jackaroo.
Well, Keith, it's very tough when you're a lineman, especially when you get cut behind the knee. That's what happened to Mario Cristobal. So like his counterpart, Copeland, they're going to outfit him with a knee brace. They're going to tape it up. But in both cases, both players are still considered questionable.
All right, Jack, thanks. 13-3, Alabama leads. 2:39 to go in the first half. Beretta's back there by himself. 4 wideouts. Stretching across the field. Throws a hummer. Double coverage. The only man that touched it was Tommy Johnson, a cornerback for Alabama.
Torretta is now 6 of 16 for 68 yards.
He's missed his last 6.
Missed his last 6. 68 yards in the first quarter and none here in the second quarter.
Yeah, but remember Penn State? He just hit a terrible game.
That's right. Well, the only thing he's done really wrong is through the interception that set up their touchdown.
Hooks that one, overhands it to the 20-yard line where Lamar Thomas makes the reception. And they'll be looking at third down and about 5.
Take a look at the secondary now. Let's go ahead and run it. Watch the red shirts to the left of the screen. Watch them all just drop back in zone coverage. And he's going to hit right here, over here, the wide receiver as he comes in. But they're mixing it up. They're dropping deep sometimes and playing zone. And then other times there's a all 11 at the line of scrimmage. Just another zone here.
Pass complete to Darrell Spencer. And that's going to be a first down for Miami out around the 29-yard line where Lemansky Hall makes the tackle. And so they move the chains now at 1:51 to go in the first half of play. And Torretta goes back under center. Penalty flags all over the place. Miami burned their timeouts early in the ball game.
We have a dead ball foul. False start on the offense.
Jonathan Harris.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So they make a mistake now. They have things going. They've moved the chains. They've kind of quieted the crowd. And then they make a little mistake.
Miami can't run, and they really haven't thrown a lot. Alabama has dominated them defensively here in the first half.
1st and 15. That pass caught on the ricochet by Chris Jones. Jones had it hit him on the shoulder pad and almost lost it, but reeled it in and moves it up to the 30. They've got to go to right about the 39 to get the first down.
And Jones is in there replacing Horace Copeland. There's quite a drop-off from Copeland to Jones.
Clock rolling along, coming up on a minute. Pass is complete to Coleman to Kirkheide. Kevin Kirkheide makes the catch. And that's a first down. Ball comes out across the 45. 46.
Alabama doing some shuffling in their defense. Toretta's throwing the short inside stuff.
Clock wound now and rolling. 50 seconds. Penalty flag down. I think they're going to ding Curry here for going too soon. Eric may have been a little early when he went through the neutral zone. Number 80. Yep.
Number 80, closest to the line of scrimmage and across it right there. He's second all time in sacks at the University of Alabama. He came in with 23.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That moves the football just across midfield. I'm telling you, look out, this guy. He keeps getting up.
As Florida State, huh?
Yep. 35 seconds. Pass is complete to Thomas. And Lamar Thomas runs out of bounds down around the 42 or 43-yard line of Alabama. And that's going to move the chains again, so that stops your clock now. He goes out of bounds at 27 seconds.
We showed you the zone earlier. Now look at all the Alabama players up there. This is they're doubling both wide receivers here. Look at the confusion there now. Stop it right there. Just look. The only man open is right here. Everybody else has 2 or 3 red shirts around them.
Shotgun. Let it go. Thomas after it. Incomplete. Defending on the play, Willie Gaston, number 22. And Lamar Thomas is shaken up. Gaston came down, I think, on his leg. And Thomas having trouble getting up.
There you'll take a look at it in isolation. Thomas just running a streak. Gaston, a true freshman, plays this ball very nicely as there's a little pushing and shoving. Thomas goes up and tries to make the play. I don't see anything where fell on. Nobody fell on his knee or anything.
No. This is a little hyperextension.
Hurricanes do this a lot, especially with Copeland and Thomas. They both can jump.
He went down hard on the turf. Perhaps that was what it was.
Yeah.
He's leaving the ball game. 19 seconds to play in the first half. 13-3, Alabama leads. And Miami owns the ball at the Alabama 43-yard line. Second down and 10. Only 10 points. Torretta lets it go. Kevin Williams after it. Great play defensively by Antonio Langham, and his hot streak continues. It looked for a moment, a daring moment, that the darter had it in his hands and would get in there for 6. But watch this play by number 43.
Well, he found the man with single coverage. They were all up there, but he just outruns him. If this ball is thrown a little flatter and gets there quicker or further across field away from Langham, it could have been completed, but Langham does an outstanding job. We mentioned the 2 All-American defensive ends. Langham, a third-team All-American, benefits from that hard pass rush.
Lamar Thomas is back with 13 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd down and 10 from the 43 of Alabama. Torretta throws a bullet complete to Thomas inside the 25. That's the first down. That stops the clock. They're trying to get new people on the field. Now Dennis Erickson is over there saying to his quarterback, as soon as you can get the ball, throw it in the ground and stop the clock. Right here, they'll wind the clock just as soon as the people are in place. Alabama's making some personnel changes, getting a lineman back in and taking London out. They hurried to get Everett Brown in the ball game, and now...
Well, that was a quick 4 seconds, I want to tell you. There were 5 seconds on the clock, and from the time the umpire removed his foot to the time he threw it, 4 seconds flew by.
Certainly did. 42-yard field goal try coming up.
So this could be a big boost for the Hurricanes if they could get something out of this.
Alabama going to try to ice him. So they'll take a timeout here and let Dane Pruitt think about it with 1 tick remaining. One touchdown, 3 field goals. Gene Stallings said yesterday he thought there might be more scoring in this game than most people were expecting.
Well, and when you have a defensive team and they're going to take another timeout right here, the field goal kickers become more and more important on low-scoring games.
Pruitt walking around from a community. Now here's Jack.
Well, Keith, let me tell you a story about Dane Pruitt. You see, he's a year older than Michael Proctor, but they both went to Alabama schools and were rivals. Well, Pruitt had all through his career, in fact, had talked to Gene Stallings about walking on at the University of Alabama. In fact, he told Stallings he was going to do so. But then, lo and behold, Michael Proctor announced as a junior that he was going to attend the University of Alabama. So what happened is Pruitt told me, he said, I didn't have a place to go. He said, I was at a football banquet over Thanksgiving. My senior year, I ran into Dennis Erickson. Erickson handed me his card. He said, send me your transcript. Lo and behold, he's in Miami.
Strange things. Ready to try from 42 yards. Pretty good looking kick. Down the highway. And at halftime, it's Alabama 13, Miami 6. And we'll be back with a halftime after this message and a word from our ABC station. These two teams, 13-6, Alabama leading at halftime, Bob. Is there anything here that you did not expect?
Not really. Miami can't run and Alabama can't pass, and Miami, what they do pass, they're having a tough time of it. The dominant force on the field is Alabama defensively. They are really confusing Gino Torretta, and he is the main player. He is going to have to step up and do it for Miami because they're not going to run the football, and he has to get the ball to those wide receivers. It's the offense. The quarterback has to produce.
Let's show you what has happened in case you got in late or you need to be caught up on how the scoring happened. A field goal of 19 yards by Michael Proctor. First quarter lead, Alabama 3-0. Miami came back to tie it on Dane Pruitt's 49-yard career long field goal at 3-3. Moving on into the second quarter of play, we had a exciting little moment as Derek Lassick was penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct. He thought he had scored. He spun the ball in the end zone, and they nailed him with a penalty, and it denied Alabama an almost sure touchdown. They settled for a 23-yard field goal and a 6-3 lead. Now here's the penalty right here. You have a look and you see him spin the ball, and you see the man wearing the striped shirt pull out a flag. Surely he must interpret that rule as an automatic. So Michael Proctor kicks a 23-yard field goal for a 6-3 Alabama lead, and then Sam Shade stepped up and intercepted a Gino Torretta pass and brought it back to the Miami 31-yard line. Throwing into double coverage, couldn't touch it in, and Shade took advantage of it and returned it 33 yards. And from this play, Sherman Williams will wind up with a 2-yard touchdown run to make it 13-3. Picks his way through the traffic. Conversion is good, and then the scoring ended on Pruitt hitting a 42-yard field goal, so he had 49 and 42 to make it 13-6 at halftime. And we'll be back with more action from the USF&G Sugar Bowl after this from our ABC station.
Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by USF&G Insurance, protecting your business, home, auto, and life.
The teams are back in the stadium, not far from the second half of play. 13-6, Alabama leads. Here's Jack Arute.
Well, Keith, when we kicked off our college football season, we were in Iowa for the first Miami-Iowa game, but we were all concentrating and chronicling the problems in South Florida as the devastation of Hurricane Andrew took its toll. We looked at it through the eyes of Michael Barrow's mother, May Barrow, in Homestead, Florida. Her house totally devastated. Well, as the Red Cross closed their last and final aid station earlier this week, I'm pleased to tell you as well that May Barrow returned to her home in Homestead, Florida on Christmas Day, and she is watching her son and the rest of the Miami Hurricanes play from her home once again.
Great story.
Isn't that a great story?
Yep. Pretty fine young man right there, too. Michael's probably be glad to get his bed back. He's been sleeping on the couch.
He's got other business to take care of right now. His first half statistics, total plays about the same, but Miami rushing only 6 yards, passing 127, and for Alabama, their rushing is 152 and only 12 yards passing. Total yardage is in favor of Alabama. Turnovers are the same. 2 interceptions for Barker in the first quarter. He hasn't had to throw any more after that. I'm sure they'll downplay that some in the second half. And for Torretta, it was a tough first half. He had an interception, and I'm sure that Dennis Erickson and Torretta and Rich Olson, the offensive quarterback coach, tried to get straightened out what the Alabama defense is doing, both in the defensive front and in the secondary.
But the point is, only a touchdown and a conversion. 7 points separate the teams. That's one throw. So I mean, it's at 10. You figure when you're playing a football team, when you get them down 10 points, and you learn that is the biggest deficit they've had the entire season, you know you're playing some pretty tough guys. And there is Gino sorting things out, and Alabama will have the ball first because they had won the toss and deferred, and so Miami will be kicking to them to start the second half of play. Here are the numbers off the first half.
Look on the left side where it says Miami 24, Alabama got a field goal. It says Miami 31, Alabama got a touchdown. That's field position inside Miami's 31-yard line. They got 2 scores that way. Barker is 2 of 8, only 12 yards and 2 interceptions. Lassick with 106 yards, and really Palmer and Wembley nothing there. Proctor 2 of 2 with field goals. Greer for Miami, the strong safety, has 8 tackles. That's not good when your strong safety's leading you in tackles, and 1 interception.
And David Palmer waits now for Dane Pruitt's kickoff to start the second half of play. First time he had it, he went back 17. This one goes to Williams. Sherman Williams. He can run too. Out to the 20 he comes. And taken down there. And Bass, number 49, among those involved in the tackle. And the Crimson Tide will go to work from the 20. This has been a tough ticket for a good long time when it became apparent that it would be this matchup of number 1 Miami and number 2 Alabama. We open with Lassick and Houston in the backfield behind Jay Barker. Wembley is number 32, and he's the wide man. They put Lassick in motion and throw on the first play. Set up a screen for Wembley on a wide receiver screen that works for about 5 yards. Jesse Armstead, number 1 linebacker, was over very quickly on the play.
That's a safe pass, Keith. That is one of the 2 passes that he completed in the first half. We talked about the 2 defensive ends a little bit, about Patrick, number 86 for Miami, and Crine, number 91 on the other side. They really haven't done much. Patrick putting a little pressure. Of course, there's not much to do when a team doesn't throw a lot of passes and you're a defensive end and rush the passer a lot.
Kevin Lee goes in motion for Alabama. Run it with Lassick over the right side on 2nd down and 5. And Michael Barrow is there for a tackle. Another one. He picks up a couple of yards, and he'll be looking at 3rd down and about 3.
The defense of Miami, Keith, has to dominate this game, take charge of it. They have not controlled the line of scrimmage like they would have liked to. There's Shields 61, excuse me, on Barrow. Barrow seems to have held his ground and 1 out, but this defense, not the offense, has been the strength of Miami the last couple of years.
Now David Palmer goes in motion. Blitz. Barker lets it go for Palmer, and he's held up on the sideline. Crowd over there hooting for a call, but good defensive play by White. He just blocked him into the boundary, and Palmer could not get down that sideline.
It's an out and up, and you can jam them like that as long as they're in front of you and the ball has not been thrown.
When the ball was thrown, it was too late. Kevin Williams is back waiting for the punt. Brian Deal's first kick with the roll on the rug was 57 yards. No pressure on him, and he gets it out, and it's a good kick. High spinning spiral for Kevin Williams to the 29. They run him into the sidelines and run him out of bounds. So it's going to be good field position for the Canes. 43-yard punt, 9-yard return. This is what happened to the Canes in the first half.
Miami got the ball in the 3rd possession in Alabama's 39 and didn't do anything with it. They got a field goal just before half, which should have done some good things for them going in at halftime. Torretta, 12 of 25 and 127 yards. Pruitt, 2 of 2 in field goals, has really kept them in the ball game.
Number 88, Horace Copeland, has come back into the starting offensive lineup. So he's shaken off the ding that he took in the first half, and he's back out there. Donnell Bennett is the single back behind Torretta. Lamar Thomas is wide to the bottom of the picture. Torretta lets it go, and it's intercepted by Tommy Johnson. And Johnson is all the way down to the 20-yard line. Tommy Johnson having a huge ball game tonight.
Well, you mentioned a huge ball game, Keith. He led the team in tackles in the first half, as you see Erickson. He's going to throw it to the left side, a little quick out. 3 steps and out. Johnson is the nickel back. He is the 5th back that's been playing the entire ball game. That's his interception, first interception. He's had a sack, he's broken up 2 passes, and he's caused a fumble earlier in the ball game. He has been active.
Ball is just inside the 21 with Alabama. Posing a threat here. Give it a Lassick. Picks his way to the 20. And that'll be it. as Darren Crine. First time tonight I've called his name. The big junior out of Aurora, Colorado. Defensive end.
Here's Johnson here on the interception, and the man's going to go down and break to the outside. He's just going to cut in front of him. That's Williams, number 5, in the slot. Breaks to the outside. That's just a great read by Johnson, and a poor throw. You see him looking at you like that, you can't throw it out there.
Alabama has called a timeout. 13-6 Tide leading, and the Tide knocking on the door to start the second half. For the Heisman Trophy winner, Gino Torretta, quarterback, Miami Hurricane. The Alabama folks over there really giving it to him right now. It is second down and about 10, closer to 9, if you will, from the 20-yard line. Barker pitches it. Lassick gives it. Kept it. Turns it into the middle. Runs away from tacklers. Great run by Lassick. Gets it down to about the 13-yard line. He's going to be 2 or 3 yards short of his first down. He faked it to Palmer. Picked his way through the traffic. Good run.
This has been the Derek Lassick show offensively. We haven't had a lot of offense. The 2 field goal kickers have both made 2 field goals, but Derek Lassick, rushing for over 100 yards in the first half, has been the offense.
A touchdown man has just come in. Curtis Brown. Remember him?
Yep. Won the touchdown in the SEC championship game.
Right. He's wide, top of the picture. Got Ryan McNeil on him over there. But Palmer goes that way to help in opening it up, and Palmer's wide open, and he can't get the ball to him. Barker runs for the first down. Mark him out at about the 4. It'll be first down and goal, Alabama.
There's a look at Palmer in motion. Now he's going to go and break to the left to the back of the end zone. Now McNeil is out there, number 47. He kind of comes back and picks him up. If the ball would have been thrown, he may have picked it off. It had to have been a very sharp, hard throw to get it in there.
Yeah, but that was late. It could have been gone a good 2 seconds sooner.
Yeah, but not from a
kind of a double team on McNeil. They sent Brown over there, and we've got a face mask call.
We have a face mask foul against the defense.
That's kind of like a replay of the last time, isn't it?
First down.
There's a look at Smith, 45, the linebacker.
The ball is at the 2-yard line.
Here's a look at Miami coming in. They had given the ball away 15 times this year, and it had led to only 2 opponent TDs. That's pretty strong.
Lassick will not get anywhere near that goal line. He is rolled up in a hurry with McNeil coming out of that corner position to lead the tacklers. He's a tough kid, isn't he?
He really is. Keith, he's an All-American, as you mentioned. He runs the 40 and 4.4. He'll be high on the list when draft time comes up in the NFL this spring.
Alabama trying to reverse that stat from the regular season. They lead in the ball game at the USF&G Sugar Bowl by a score of 13-6. Lassick is out of there now, and Sherman Williams, who has scored Alabama's touchdown, is in. He's a speedster. Here goes Parker. Pursuit coming from the back. He can't get there. He's run down by Dexter Siegler. Siegler came around the corner and just simply outran Jay Barker to make the tackle short of the goal line.
Number 34 is coming from the entire backside. You talk about the speed of Miami. Look at this cornerback, just runs him down from behind.
It is third down and goal from the 1, and Lassick comes back. Oh, I tell you, that's like trying to climb a cactus to score against this Miami crowd, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a run to the left, because if they throw it, it'd be very tough to kick a field goal from that right hash.
Lassick. Touchdown.
Well, you don't need to kick field goals when you can get it into the end zone.
Big Uglies on the right side gave him a crack.
It's Stevenson and Patterson, Buskey the tight end. Siegler, 34, runs around the block. Good running by Lassick, and really some shoddy tackling by the Hurricanes.
Johnny Howard snaps it. Proctor's kick is up and good. Alabama has scored 14 points off Miami turnover and lead 20-6. In the end zone for the Tide's second touchdown, has 22 carries, 116 yards. In case you wonder, the Sugar Bowl rushing record, Tony Dorsett, 202 yards when Pittsburgh played Georgia here.
All the coaches, you ever ask them what's the key to this game, they'll always tell you turnovers, turning the ball over.
A 20-6 lead as Alabama kicks off to Miami with Harris and Williams waiting. This will be Williams at the 7. Kevin searching around, finds enough daylight to get the ball out to about the 29-yard line. He's a tough little guy. Here are the scores of games earlier in the day. Tennessee was impressive. So was Notre Dame and Stanford and Georgia. Syracuse beat Colorado. Michigan finally won a Rose Bowl after being frustrated for so long. And Florida State is leading Nebraska in the fourth quarter by 20. Curry is back in the lineup. He missed that last series for Alabama. They worked on him some. He's fixed up. He's back. Miami now going to work out of the shotgun from the 29. They're down by 14. And Torretta intercepted by Teague. George Teague to the end zone. Touchdown.
Defense wins championships, and Alabama's got the best defense in the country.
Well, they are so well prepared, and Dennis Erickson made that point last night when I was talking to him. He said they have had a lot more time to get ready for us than they had to get ready for Florida. Even though we learned something by looking at the Florida tape, we still know that they've had a lot of time to prepare, and it shows. Proctor's point is good. With 9:56 to play in the third quarter, it is now Alabama 27 and Miami 6.
Take a look now. Every one of the red shirts are up there. They're going to blitz. They're going to fake blitz. Here's Teague right here. Now the route is going to be when you see blitz, they break it off right in here. Watch as Teague reads the route and breaks inside of Harris, the expected wide receiver. They drop back. They don't blitz. It was a fake. Now he knows the route better than the receiver. He jammed him. He got in there. That's good film study and good preparation by the University of Alabama. Teague knew what he was doing. This is his first touchdown interception of the year.
Remaining in the third quarter, 27-6 now. Alabama leads Miami. Gino Torretta, 2 passes in this half, 2 interceptions, and 1 Alabama touchdown. The 4 turnovers leading to a total of 21 Alabama points. And that last play by Teague covered 31 yards on the touchdown return.
It's nothing new for Gene Stallings' group. They're 4th in the nation, as I mentioned earlier, in the turnover margin. They're now up to plus 21.
Proctor will kick it off. Harris and Williams wait. Williams at the 2. Good block trying to get him to the sideline, but red shirts are swarming.
Watch the interception again now. To the left side of your screen, number 3. This is an interception for Torretta, but it's really the fault of the receiver because he didn't get in there where he was supposed to be. The quarterback is expecting the receiver to be in there on a little slant if they're blitzing, and he didn't get in there. The defensive back, Teague, knew where he was going.
Yeah, but these receivers are not used to being treated like this either. And just getting boxed around.
Harris is small, and Teague is big, and jammed him at the line. Didn't get off the line of scrimmage.
12-yard line, and it's Miami's worst starting position of the night. For a possession. Hand the ball to Donnell Bennett, and they eat him up. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
If you're a Hurricane now, especially if you got number 13 and your name is Torretta, your confidence has got to be a little bit down. You've thrown 3 interceptions, and things have not gone well. You're playing the top defense in the country, and this is a long uphill climb. You see Cristobal, the right tackle, is back in the ballgame.
It'll be second down and about 11. He did lose on that last play. Lemansky Hall is now right in the middle. That says blitz. Passes away, penalty flag down. Lamar Thomas has got it. Lamar Thomas is on his way down the sideline. George Teague is after him and runs him down.
Takes the ball.
Takes the ball away from him. Teague's got the ball. And they tackle Teague back up to 12. But you got a penalty flag all the way back up here at the 11-yard line at the other end of the field. Rogers Redding is talking with the official who threw it. They're walking down the field, and here's the call. Offside, and the offside is against Alabama. The offside is against Alabama. And so all of this flurry of excitement.
George Teague is unbelievable. He can chase Lamar Thomas down from that far away. Teague is the man that just intercepted and ran the one in for a touchdown.
Plays, the ball's coming back. Here's Rogers Redding.
They'll take the play. They'll take the penalty.
We have offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So Miami takes the play.
Sure. Of course they take the penalty.
But instead of Erickson have a completion way down, maybe a touchdown. This is a great throw here. Single coverage outside. Look at this throw. And look at Teague. Thomas is supposed to have some speed. And a great play by Teague, knowing he's behind him, knocked the ball out of his hands, and he takes it away from him.
But Miami accepts the penalty. Offsides against Alabama. They keep the football, and this remarkable play by George Teague is firmly recorded for him to watch when he's 40.
If they would have they take the penalty because they don't want the play. The play obviously gives the ball over to Alabama.
So put the football at the 16-yard line. Gene Stallings is mad and horned again. At it, second down and 5. Both teams kind of wobbling around here as Torretta sets them up. Tide shows blitz. They go cruising in looking for Torretta, and Torretta trying to pop out of the middle. Well, maybe they were trying to run a quarterback draw.
Let's go back to the previous play. See if there's an offsides, unless it's the man close down here at the bottom. With his hand.
Somebody's in the zone. Yeah, there he is right there.
He may be lined up offsides. Yeah, it's hard to see anybody offsides.
It's 55. That's London. Antonio London. Yeah. He got started a little soon, got in the neutral zone.
What a big downer for Miami, though. You finally hit a play, your fastest receiver, one of your fastest. You think you got a touchdown, and you end up back inside your own 20 again.
And on top of that, just for show, he had the ball taken away from him. Torretta lets it go, intended for Copeland, and Torretta is just buried under the red shirt as he let the pass go, and he misses. It's fourth down.
Here's a look at Alabama defensively. They've taken it away 4 times. They've got 21 points off the turnovers. Miami's only 3 of 8 on third down conversions, and 5 times Miami has had the ball 3 plays or less and out.
David Palmer now comes back, wait for the punt, and he's going to be standing somewhere around his 45-yard line waiting for the kick. It'll be the 4th punt of the night by Paul Snyder. Should be pretty good field position. Palmer will take it, take off with it, and bring it back to about midfield. And so with 8:01 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Tide leading by 21. They're sitting right in the middle of the field. This is a remarkable fact. I have never heard of such a thing in Plaisault.
Well, they've won 4 championships in the last 9 years, and you think they don't use that as a nice recruiting tool?
It's going to take some kind of a monumental comeback to make it 5, though, which would have been history. Barker gives the ball to the big guy, Martin Houston, and he rumbles for a first down at the Miami 38-yard line.
See a little bit of the zip, a little life out of the Hurricanes, Keith. After Thomas lost that long pass, if he could have got in the end zone, that may have brought it back to him. But Alabama's got it.
Well, they were in position where they had no choice because he lost the ball to Teague, and they had to take the penalty, which put him back inside the 20.
And they lost field position.
Yep. Alabama first down. Williams taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Very good penetration by Darren Crine. That's the 2nd play that Darren has made in the 2nd half. The agony of Lamar Thomas. He knows full well how big that previous play was.
He is the all-time career reception leader at the University of Miami. 144 catches, and 23 of those went for touchdowns. Here's another look. Torretta inside his 5-yard line. This could perhaps get Miami back in the ball game, at least give him a boost. This would put him down by only 14. He runs out of gas, gets caught by the defensive back.
Derek Lassick carries the ball down to the 40. After the sack, you're looking at 3rd down and sack. 13 yards, 3rd down and 13. Lassick with 118 yards. That's the most any player has had this year against the Hurricane defense. The record of 202 yards certainly reachable, but I don't think you'll see that. Back, gets his pass away, pass caught by Lassick at the 41-yard line, and he'll get it back to about the line of scrimmage as Marley. Rowan Marley is 5'8", 200 pounds, redshirt freshman out of Miami, and he is a really quick, tough little guy. You say little, he's only short. He's wide.
He'll be playing a lot in the years to come. The Hurricanes have 13 fifth-year seniors on this squad. They'll be moving on.
But Dennis Erickson's program's almost in a position of just reloading, isn't it?
Well, this will be the last year. All those fifth-year seniors were recruited by Jimmy Johnson. Dennis has been there 4 years. He's recruited 4 classes. And he has done very well in his recruiting.
Since 1987, that program has produced 13 first-round NFL draftees. 13.
And that's more than any other school in the nation.
We have a dead ball foul. Delay of the game on the offense. Still 4th down.
That won't bother them. It's only 5 yards, and they're in a punting posture anyway, so they'll back them up 5, and that'll just give Deal a little more room to angle the ball. Nobody back. Miami late getting out there. Deal knocks it up in the air. Kevin Williams comes up and calls fair catch, and Alabama trying to get to the ball to mark it. We have a collision in the end zone, and Gaston is down. fact, we've got 2 of them down. Is that Buskey?
Looks like it is Buskey, the starting tight end. He may have been the
number 83.
Yeah. Well, he didn't snap.
Yep, that's Buskey.
They ran into each other trying to keep the ball in the field of play.
You got a chance here that 2 very prominent players may have injured themselves. They were trying to get to the football to down it deep in Miami territory. Buskey and Gaston colliding. Gaston is up now, but Buskey is still down and inert.
83 is Buskey. He is the starting tight end.
There was the collision. I don't know, maybe the helmet hit him in the jaw. May have just knocked him out. But Gaston comes off very gingerly, and Buskey is still down. We've got a timeout. They're still taking their time with Buskey, the Alabama tight end. Steve in a collision with Gaston, Willie Gaston, and Gaston came off the field, admittedly rather gingerly, but he's standing on the sidelines now, waiting for some word about his teammate, and it looks like Steve's going to get up. Here's what happened to them. They were trying to get to the football to down it near the goal line. They had a collision, and in the course of that collision, Buskey really took a rap, but he's up.
Keith, I know you're going from here on over to Atlanta, and while I've got a chance, I want to congratulate you on receiving the 1993 Amos Alonzo Stagg Award. It's given by the American Football Coaches Association, one of their most prestigious awards, and they don't rarely give that to, don't usually give that award to anybody but college football coaches, and we, all of us at ABC, want to thank you, want to congratulate you, and thank you for being a friend, and
appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's one of the awards I think that one can carry around with pride, because it's been working with these guys 40 years, and I'm very happy to have the privilege of being with them. Pass is completed out to the 36-yard line, caught by Horace Copeland, and that's going to move the chains for Miami, so they pick up a first down on that passing play. But the third quarter, the world is just, the sky has fallen on them, really. But there's a whole quarter left.
Well, there really is. I mean, they're down by 3 touchdowns, and there's 4.5 minutes to play here in another quarter, and Miami does possess the guns, but they're going to have to turn it around from the way they played the first 2.5 quarters.
Kevin Williams is on a post pattern, and they can't get the ball to him. Alabama picked him up. They had 2 people with him. Sam Shade and Antonio Langham were running step for step with Kevin Williams.
Now, when Langham slides to the outside, that means he's got help back to the inside. There you go, 31 Shade, and Langham 43, both double covering him. Now, Alabama has been doing a nice job all night in disguising and double covering different people. So look at Buskey, who was injured on that punt coverage down in the end zone.
It looks like concussion, doesn't it? Second down and 10. Heat coming, penalty flag thrown. Coleman Bell has the catch, and Bell is inside the 35 and finally wrestled down at the 30. And let's see about that penalty. That might be an offside. Alabama, play stands. Miami's on the Alabama 30. Tomorrow the NFL playoffs begin on ABC Sports at 12 noon Eastern. First game, Washington at Minnesota. Second game, AFC champion San Diego Chargers at home with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all tomorrow on ABC Sports. And as they come out of the huddle, a quick word from Jack Arute on Steve Buskey.
Well, Keith, good news. As you see behind me, they're taking off the shoulder pads. He may be out for the day, but the doctors have said that he's okay. He just got his neck snapped back, and they're just going to ice him down. But that's good news after a scary couple of moments.
John Toretta lets it go, and the pass is incomplete. The man trying for the interception was Lemanski Hall. Hall, who normally plays outside, has been inside a lot tonight. And he was inside that time. Second down and 10 coming up.
Hall was a former defensive back, moved to linebacker. Hurricanes have won 29 straight. Their last loss was at Notre Dame. That record is in big-time jeopardy here tonight.
Alabama will then hold the long winning streak. They came in with 22 in a row.
Here they come.
Right up the middle. Oh, my goodness. Eric Turner.
Number 11 and number 39 blitzing right up the middle. Huge gaping hole, and he does a nice job. Turner was fortunate to be at Alabama. He hurt his knee as a high school senior. He's a true freshman this year. Last year he hurt his knee, didn't play a lot, and it was only when another Alabama recruit went somewhere else that Turner was able to sign and come to the University of Alabama.
Third down and 10 from the Alabama 30 for Miami. Lamar Thomas trying to come inside on that wide receiver screen, and Chris Donnelly will have none of it. The junior from Germantown, Tennessee, took him down. And the ball is at the 19-yard line. That is the deepest Miami penetration. Excuse me, at the 24-yard line. That is the deepest Miami penetration of the night. Remember, the two field goals now were 49 and 42. Big ones. It's fourth down and 4.
You need touchdowns, not field goals here. Right. They're all up there. Here they come.
Right up the middle again, and that pass is incomplete. There's a penalty flag. And who was it coming up the middle? Teague?
I think it was Turner again.
Turner? Okay.
Same blitz.
Same blitz. Worked. But I think somebody got there too soon. Teague is down, hurt on the field. That's George is back there around the 11-yard line. It's offside against Alabama. And this young man has been a mountain tonight for the Tide defense, and he's shaken up.
Here again is what Toretta's looking at. Look at all 11 defensive backs up there on the line of scrimmage. He's going to try to get the ball down here, straight down the field. Now, some of the times they come with this in a blitzing situation, and sometimes they drop back off. This time they're coming. Now watch the man down and the second man in from the right side. He's open, and Toretta tries to get him the ball, and it's underthrown. I think it may have been deflected or
knocked down by Teague.
Yeah.
And that's where George got hurt.
And there's a man at the top, lined up offsides.
Yep, that's Curry. Teague has got an ankle problem, I think. At least that's what it looks like. You've got 3:08 to go in the third quarter. 27-6. Alabama has a 21-point lead over the defending national champions. Miami coming in ranked number 1 in the nation. Alabama ranked number 2. Number 3, Florida State, was ahead by 20 over Nebraska. Notre Dame beat Texas A&M today, roundly, out of the Cotton Bowl. Next Saturday here on ABC Sports, the Pro Bowlers Tour premieres at 3 Eastern and Pacific. They'll be in Torrance, California for the AC Delco Classic. And then the world's top skaters will be on the ice for a dramatic pairs and dance competition, the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions. All next Saturday here on ABC Sports. That was Kitty and Peter Carruthers. The picture there. And now George Teague walking off.
George had 6 interceptions coming into the game tonight before he intercepted that last one and ran into the touchdown. And those other 6 interceptions coming in, he had no return yardage. So he made up for it tonight, didn't he? He saved up.
Boy. Well, it's just the Cane offense has just absolutely been beleaguered. They're inside the 20 for the very first time.
Yep.
Little time this time, throws it out to Bennett. Bennett runs into 3. Alabama people over there. Willie Gaston is back in the lineup, number 22. He was involved in that collision with Buskey, but he's shaking it off. Buskey is out of the ball game. He's taken the pads off. Ball is down on the 15-yard line, second down and 6. Look at that, 7-yard run.
Doesn't mean much with all the turnovers that Miami has had.
This is Bennett. Ran right through 2 tacklers and moved the ball down close to the 12-yard line. So it looked like they had him back behind the line of scrimmage. Mario Morris, he's was the starting inside linebacker tonight, replacing Michael Rogers, who was involved in a traffic accident over the holidays and couldn't play. There's Mario, sophomore from Decatur. Third and 2. That's pretty good coverage, isn't it?
You got to believe it is.
Tommy Johnson, one more time, sitting on Kevin Williams.
Second man in from the right side. He's going to break to the outside right at us. And number 10, Tommy Johnson, who is the nickelback that's played all night, breaks up his 4th pass on the night. He has a sack, a quarterback sack, a forced fumble, and an interception. Pretty busy young man.
4th down. Incomplete. Coleman Bell was trying to get a hold of it. It was slapped away by Sam Shade, number 31. So Sam makes his second big play of the night. Thomas was back there, and Coleman Bell looked like the man, the most likely target.
Another blitz, 39 is Turner. This time the center goes and gets him, and then Gregory is free. That's why he throws it off balance and high, just throwing it up to give his man a shot at it. That's just good coverage.
Bell came with he got the ricochet and almost got it. Tommy Johnson was the man who looked like that actually got his hands on it. So Johnson makes another play.
Johnson again.
Yeah, there he is. He's rivaling George Teague now, isn't he? Palmer on a reverse. Runs past Darren Smith and will pick up the first down. He just outran Smith. That may be the only time this year that anybody has outrun Darren Smith coming around the corner.
David Palmer, Mr. Excitement. From behind the offense, little fake to Lassick. They try to get the ball to Palmer 10, 12, 15 times a game. They haven't needed it here tonight, but he can fly.
And it's first down at the 37-yard line. Tripped. Lassick carrying the ball, never got really started on the play, and will lose a yard or so as we wind down to the end of the third quarter. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. 27-6. Alabama ahead by 21.
There's a look. David Palmer, what he's done tonight, he's rushed for 26. He's only had 6 yards receiving. They have not had to throw it. 37 on kickoff returns. The 1 punt return set up a field goal.
Glenn Milburn, who plays a similar role for Stanford. He had a big ball game today, too. This is Lassick picking his way back to about the line of scrimmage before Darren Crine puts him down. And we go inside a minute to go in the third quarter. And the big crowd in the Superdome is kind of quiet right now. Alabama leads by 21.
We get word on George Teague that it was just a cramp, a leg cramp. And he should be able to return.
I think they might like to just let the clock wind on down here. There'll be one more snap. No reason to hurry when you lead by 21 after 3. Barker's going to put it up. The pass intended for Wembley is incomplete. He's squawking about it, but gets no call. Clock shows 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. So now they'll punt. Number 69, Stevenson, a right guard for Alabama, is coming off the field very tenderly, limping on the right leg. That's Kevin Williams. There's Stevenson right there. Here's Williams now sitting back there. Brian Deal looks for the snap just inside his own 30. Deal pops it out of there and gets a lot of air under it and runs Williams all the way back to the 17-yard line. Finally gets a little bit of help on the corner. But I'll tell you what, that's pretty good coverage of a punt. The quarter is over. After 3, 27-6. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station. A lot of football teams doing it, but that's Alabama, their side of the house. Miami, we've seen them do it a couple of times, but if they win this fourth quarter, they better come out with their motor running. They're down by 21, 27-6. And they start at the 24-yard line. First down. Torretta gets it off, and the pass, again, there was double coverage. The pass intended for Horace Copeland. Antonio London and Antonio Langham were both there. They had him between them. It would have been very difficult, if not impossible, to complete
Defensive backs have just flat covered the Miami receivers.
Yep, they've whipped them.
There's Miami in number 1 versus number 2. The one loss is number 1, and they've won the 3 times they have won. They have been ranked number 2. So they're looking at losing another one when they're ranked number 1.
The history here in the Sugar Bowl has been for number 2 to win. It happened. Gino's falling down, but throws the ball as he is falling down, and they're going to let him have it. He tripped as he pulled away from the snap, and Florida State has defeated Nebraska 27-14. That score is final in the Orange Bowl. After this game, there will be only one of the bowl games left. That'll be the Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
Right guard Kip Vickers, number 78, stepped on Torretta's right foot.
Well, that happens a lot.
It does. It really does.
Is that why you walk funny?
Well, no. And the reason it happens is not because the quarterback is slow getting away. It is that the guard or the center move before they normally do, or take a much larger step, or move too quickly.
Curry puts the heat on. He delivers the ball to Kevin Williams, and they take Williams down right about the 25-yard line. Derek Oden, 56, the key man on the hit. He's another tough guy.
This Alabama defense, the starters have only allowed 8 touchdowns all year long, and they have scored 4 touchdowns. The defense has for Alabama. 12 games, they've allowed 8 touchdowns, and they've scored 4. So net, they've given up 4 touches.
Kick is out of there by Snyder. Palmer's got it at the 37, tries to puck between 2 and can't do it, and goes down at the 40. You know, as we look at the third quarter numbers here and the domination by Alabama, people are going to start asking the question, Bob, is this one of the great defensive teams of all time?
Well, it certainly is one of the best that I've seen in a long time. But you're better judging in that than I have. You've been around this for 40 years.
Yeah, but you know, you go back to the times when they played for one platoon. Yeah, there were some great defensive teams back then.
It's tough to compare teams in different eras. The rules change.
Yep. Can't do it. That's Lynch carrying the ball there, and he picks up about 4 yards. A moment now with Jackaroo.
Well, Keith, you know, in order for Alabama to make it to the Sugar Bowl, they had to defeat their SEC rivals and also the ones that won the Eastern Division in this first ever championship game in Birmingham. Who was that? The Florida Gators. Well, listen to what happened. Shane Matthews called the team in the locker room earlier, wished them well. There were 35 players from Florida watching the game at Florida Field on a big screen TV.
Yep, there's some contact. Florida certainly did a lot better offensively against this Alabama defense than Miami is doing here tonight.
Looked like Mark Caesar just wanted to knock somebody down. It whopped him.
Getting frustrated.
We have a dead ball foul. False start.
False start. Caesar within his rights to do what he did. And Thebes is really hot. He knows these guys, these officials, too, because he was in the Southwest for so long. That's what happened in the postseason with these Southeastern Conference teams. I walked around for much of this year thinking that the Pac-10 might have been the toughest league in the country. But right now, there's no argument.
This is a great barometer, a great judge of the strength of the conferences.
Second down and 12. And this is Tarrant Lynch. He'll roll backwards. There's enough teams to get a hold of him and tumble him back. There is one game left to play, as we said a little while ago, in the Peach Bowl, as Mississippi State Jackie Sherrill Ball Club plays North Carolina over in Atlanta.
The series goes back a ways. A lot of those victories were in the 70s when Alabama was dominating. I think they only played one time. They didn't play at all in the 80s. They played the one game in 1990
Sugar Bowl. Barker throws incomplete, intended for Curtis Brown, and defended by Paul White. White at 5'9", giving away about 4 or 5 inches on that play, but he made it. And so the Tide will have to give the ball away again on the punt. As we are in the fourth quarter of play, it was the third quarter where the sky really fell on the Hurricanes. It was 13-6 at halftime, and Alabama, exercising opportunity, came up with interceptions that produced 14 points. Kevin Williams on the move will take it. He's still upright. He's still upright. I don't see any flags. Nobody has put a foot down to mark it. Touchdown, Miami. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. I thought he was out of bounds over there.
I think a lot of people did. But Williams is, as we told you a while ago, you reach a hold of him, you think you got him, and all of a sudden you're looking at his pockets going away from him.
Well, to get back in this game, the Hurricanes needed some big plays, and we mentioned they do have some big play guys. This is 78 yards. This is a Sugar Bowl record. Williams is stopped. Sometimes when that happens, the defense, if the coverage team stops, he does stay in bounds.
Now there's nobody to really pursue him. And he canters into the end zone. That's his 27-12.
First punt return for a touchdown this year. Last year he had 3, but really has not shown a lot this year.
You know, that sort of reminds me of that UCLA-Nebraska game a few years ago. Remember that?
Yep.
Fellow rolled over the top of somebody else, got up and walked 40 yards for a touchdown. Threw it for the point. Good. So 12:08 to go now. 27-13 ball game. Well, the yellow numbers tell you Miami will kick off. It's the first Sugar Bowl touchdown off a punt return in 21 years. Last man to do it was Tim Wiley of the Oklahoma Sooners. David Burnson catching that out of the history book. Well, Alabama smells onside here. They've got DBs and receivers up.
It's Kevin Williams up there on the kickoff team too, Keith. He's the safety valve.
Kick it away. Palmer circles at the 5. all the way to the 40. I tell you, these two little guys are really something when they get that football and start looking for a hole.
Right side of your screen on the bottom there is Sonny Lubick. He is the defensive coordinator for the Hurricanes, has been for the last 4 years, and Sonny is moving on to be the head coach of at Colorado State.
Well, he was out there as an assistant.
Yes, he was.
Going
yes,
back.
He was.
Likes that lifestyle.
Yep.
Tommy Tuberville is going to move up and replace him as the defensive coordinator.
Uh-huh.
I have to talk to Tommy about that big loop and slice he hit across two fairways. Here comes Palmer around the corner, and Michael Barrow is waiting for him and puts him on the ground. Back there were two Canes staying at home, Dexter Siegler, the boundary cornerback, as well as Barrow.
Michael Barrow is playing in his 36th straight start. He is playing in his last game also as a Hurricane. He's their leading tackler and in their is their inspirational leader. Well, it was his 11th tackle on the night.
It's 2nd down and 14. If they hold him right here, Bob, get a break right here and get another quick touchdown, it'll quicken the pulse a bit, won't it?
Just can't have a turnover. Fake reverse.
Lassick kept it. Picks his way through the crowd. Big play to midfield. Close to a first down.
Actually, if you're Alabama now, Keith, you don't need more points. What you'd really like to do is drive maybe 10, 12, 15 plays and take some time off the clock. And if you do get some points at the end of it, that'd be great.
I tell you, that may be a very big play right here, because if on 2nd down and 14, he got him off the hook, got him into a position where they know at least it's 3rd and 1. And now they can take at least 4 more snaps. Boy, that's a big play.
That's a lot of time off the clock.
While they bring the chains in, we'll tell you it's a crowd of 76,789. Just a little short.
Going to fake this reverse. They're going to fake it to Palmer. Palmer is a marked man. Whenever defenses come in, you see Crine, 91, was influenced by that. I'll tell you what, Lassick and Palmer, the two guys, the two main cogs in this Alabama offense, are really something.
It's about 6 inches that they need here on 3rd down. Oh, look at this. I don't think he got it. Barker trying to sneak it. He just bounced off the first try. Armstead was the guy in the bottom.
Lopez was in there too, number 71 for the Hurricanes. But you know, how do you? One of the linesmen on the side puts his foot down somewhere, and there's no way to get an accurate read. But this is just all part of the game.
Short. He needed 6 inches. He got 3. Gene Stalling says go for it.
Got to think of Bear Bryant right here. You know, he talks so much like Bear Bryant. That this offense, this whole team is very similar. What Bryant would have, Keith, and you knew him a lot better than anybody else probably, or more like most people. Strong defense and a strong running game.
Oh, he got it, but not by a whole bunch. Martin Houston, the bulk of the big fullback, is good for the first down.
The right side, that's Johnson, number 5, the tight end. Smith, 45, gets a piece of him, and then Barrow just falls off. I'll
tell you what Paul Bryant liked. He liked tweeners.
You mean
guys that were not All-Americans out of high school, but guys who could play and guys who were coachable and people that would spend what they had and give him what they could afford. And
well, here's one right here in Jay Barker.
Yes, sir.
He is a hard worker.
A lot of them out there.
Yep.
This is Lassick. Well, I'm not so sure that he had pretty good numbers coming out of Haverstraw, New York, but he was not a world beater. Otherwise, he'd never been able to get south. Somebody would have roped him in, but he shows up and he's had a terrific senior year.
Barrow fighting off the block of Shields, the center, gets a part of it, as does Greer.
Time remaining in the ball game, 9 minutes and 40 seconds, 27-13. 14-point deficit. Miami needs to get the ball back and then do something with it. Sherman Williams is the deep man. They show blitz. Marley does from the outside, takes off. Oh, he got a lick on him too. And Houston will move the ball to about the 48. You can see Marley almost jumped. He got backed out of that neutral zone and then went after him and got him before he got to the line of scrimmage. Now Palmer and Brown will check into the lineup for Alabama.
It's 1 versus 2.
Yep.
Number 2 has won the last 4 games.
Litch is the big man. They pitch it back, however. Oh, look at this. Williams lets it go, and he throws. Oh, that's interference. They ran over Palmer. 3 canes down there, and they just ran over him. And it's a 15-yard penalty and a first down. Siegler and Greer and Harris, and I think all 3 of them got a piece of it. A little bit of resignation there on the face of Dennis Erickson.
Well, he didn't have to interfere because the other man coming from the 29 is going to interfere with him, Greer. He doesn't see it, but from the left side, right there, Harris would have intercepted the ball. The ball was underthrown. Now watch Palmer, number 2, is he's going to have to slow up, come back. He's the only one that sees it. Yeah, he gets mugged by Greer.
That was a pathetic pass that Williams he just slipped out of his hands. He just lost his grip on it and couldn't spin it at all. But when they're going right, nobody ever asked how, did they? Just how many? First down from the 33 and up to Williams in the middle. Works his way down close to the 25. So they're doing here, I think, Bob, just what you mentioned a while ago, what they want to do.
Just hold on to the ball.
Yep. Snap the ball and run the clock. Pretty quiet over there on the side where the white shirts are resting.
Alabama has rushed for 234 yards. That's an average of 4.5 per carry. Those yardage is more than Miami has given up all year.
Timeout. 7:58 to play in the ball game. 14-point lead, Alabama. Well, it's a night for Roll Tide, and those of you in New Orleans who think you won't be hearing it into the wee hours of the morning, you better be getting on the train and going somewhere else, because these folks are going to have a party. 29 consecutive wins coming in here, so the last time they lost a game was October 20, 1990 at Notre Dame. And so some of these young people from Miami don't know the shock of losing a ball game. Williams carries there and rolls out of bounds to kill the clock. So they'll be looking at short coming up here.
Talk about the players of Miami. What about the coach? The coach has only lost 3 games in the 4 years that he's been at the university. Erickson is 44-3. Coming into the game tonight, he's won 2 titles in 3 years. Gene Stallings, on the other hand, only has lost 6 games in his 3 years. He's 30-6.
Yeah, but both of them have been seasoned.
Oh, yes.
Third and short. Third and about a yard and up the middle goes Houston. keeps on pounding and gets the first down at about the 20-yard line. Well, you went through it with the Miami Dolphins. You guys won that championship 17-0. It must have been a shock, even at an advanced.
It is. You just can't believe you're ever going to lose, Keith. And the Hurricanes this year pulled some games out that were very close, but eventually you have to lose. And the next year we came back and went 15-2 and were probably stronger than we were the year before and won another championship. So Miami's going to lose a lot of players. As I mentioned, they've got 13 fifth-year seniors on that ball club, but they've got a lot of young players to step up.
First down, Alabama down at the Miami 20, leading 27-13 and 7:20 to play in the ball game, and up the middle goes Lynch. Inside the 5, first and goal Tide. And they're starting to dance in Opp and Eastaboga and Coleman and Montgomery.
Just poor tackling and good running, good blocking by Alabama. Houston doesn't get a chance to carry the ball much. 6 is Harris, the free safety. He misses. And Alabama has had it their way. Lynch, excuse me.
He's only a sophomore. He's got some time left to grow. Ball just inside the 5, first and goal. And time call by Rogers Redding, charge to Alabama with 6:56 to play in the ball game. In that one, isn't there? But what these Hurricanes have done over the last decade is, it's one of the great stories in the history of sport. I don't care what your sport is. And they're taking a licking tonight, but
well, they've been in the top 3 of the final AP polls 7 straight years.
Yep. This is Williams. And Bass grabs a hold of it and rides him out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. Michigan won today in the Rose Bowl, getting by Washington. Terrific game. The Wolverines have now won 730 games, more than anybody else. Notre Dame has 711. And if Alabama holds on and wins here tonight, then Alabama and Texas will be tied for 3rd with 682 wins. So that tells you something about what's been going on at Tuscaloosa all through this century. Second down, give it to Lassick. Turns the corner, touchdown.
Lassick scores the touchdown, but it's Hammond and Wilson and Johnson and Magnum up front, the guys doing the blocking, and Lynch, 45, the fullback. And is there any doubt who the national champion is?
Not in my mind. Lassick, 28 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Point by Proctor. Good. At 6:46 to play in the game, I think I heard the door slam. 34-13. Alabama leads again by 21 points. Alabama scoring drive. Reflected there.
12 plays, took a lot of time off the clock.
Pass interference penalty, though, was the big play.
Yeah.
Mistake by Miami. And the Alabama Crimson Tide cashed it in. Proctor killed it. Knocked all the air out of it. And Kevin Williams is going to come from 4 yards deep in the end zone. Now he's going to go the other way. Hoping his picket line is set up over there. He did get a little help out of it. And finally he steps out of bounds up around the 22, and now penalty flag. Alabama man was knocked down. And you got a personal foul going to be called against Miami. Number 40 took a lick, and Mickey Kahn is leaving the field.
We have a dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's another big penalty that kills momentum. The Infinity Tournament of Champions final round live 3 Eastern 2 Central and Pacific on Sunday, January 10 comes from La Costa. All the fellows who had wins on the 1992 tour will be there looking for the first win of the 1993 tour. Ray Floyd is qualified to play in both the regular and the senior tournament divisions of the Tournament of Champions. That mean he has to hit it twice?
No, he's got twice a good chance to win.
Torretta completes the pass to Donnell Bennett out of the backfield. And they will move the marker up to about the 21, no, to the 18-yard line. Been a long, tough night for Gino Torretta. Brilliant career, 26-1. About to become 26-2, won national championship, the Heisman Trophy, the school's most decorated player, but it has been a miserable last game for him. Down the middle, the pass is incomplete, intended for Copeland. Clock shows 6:24 to play in the ball game.
Well, you're right about Gino. It's been a tough career, but not for that man right there. Stallings has come in and really turned this program around, and he is a big admirer of Bear Bryant.
You know what? You look at the guys that followed the Bear, Ray Perkins, Bill Curry. They didn't lose. They didn't have a losing season. And their winning record when they departed the capstone, they were winning records. But there's more to it than that. Here's a pass to Kevin Williams, and Williams getting to the sideline, stopping the clock, and I don't think he made the marker. They had pulled the marker out of the way, and Kevin didn't know exactly where it was, and I think he pulled up just a little short. Well, they'll bring the chain all the way across the field. So let's summarize for you as to what's happened. There have been 4 Miami turnovers that have led to 21 Alabama points. Alabama has run the ball very well tonight. Kevin Williams had a pretty good night in all-purpose yards, but Lassick was a bull of a man running from the backfield for Alabama with 135 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And other than that, it's been Miami mistakes. Plus the fact that Miami hasn't run a lick. They've gained 11 yards on the ground.
No, they haven't. And you've got to be able to run some to keep that rush, the pass rush off to help you throw the football.
But do not worry about the future of Miami football as long as Dennis Erickson's around. I do believe that you'll find him to be bouncing back next year with a pretty good football team, even though the losses are going to be really heavy. A lot of people leaving.
Well, they lose 8 starters off of the offensive team alone, Keith.
Well, you got young Walsh over there.
And Frank Costa.
And Frank Costa is the more seasoned of the quarterbacks. It is 4th down, and Miami is going on 4th and 1. But he was a little short. And they get it with Donnell Bennett. So that's the first down. There may have been a lot of key plays in the game, but there's always one that breaks your heart, takes away your momentum.
This was the second possession of Miami in the second half. Torretta had already had 1 intercepted on the first possession, and Alabama scored, and this was the second one. Alabama has scored a touchdown off the defense 4 games in a row.
Chris Jones can't reel that pass in. It is incomplete. It was a matter of the Miami wide receivers just getting whipped, wasn't it?
That's right. Teague is one of the corners. He scores here, and Langham, Antonio Langham, had scored in the 3 previous games. So of the 2 cornerbacks for Alabama, they scored a touchdown in the last 4 games this year.
And one of the more remarkable plays of the ball game was made by George Teague, and yet doesn't count because of an offside penalty.
Well, he actually saved the touchdown.
Saved the touchdown. Yep. Torretta hits his man down the middle. That's good for a first down. Making the catch is Chris Jones, a sophomore from West Palm Beach. And so let's put the ball at about the 46 and call it first down Miami. .5:51 remaining, 21-point lead, 34-13. Torretta throws the ball into the ground to kill the clock.
As far as Alabama's concerned, they lose Teague, but Langham, Antonio Langham is back. They lose Copeland and Curry and Antonio London. But Lemansky Hall is back. Sam Shade is back. Nunley is back. Lockett. They'll have some guys to work with defensively.
And Miami gets Rusty Medeiros back. He just got another year of eligibility.
Yes, he did.
He was out here yesterday running. ACL construction and out running already.
They look good too.
Lamar Thomas jumps out of bounds quickly, picks up about 5 on that play. Here's that play I was talking about a moment ago that Teague made. The pass was complete to Lamar Thomas here, and it looked like for all the world that he was on his way to a touchdown. And it would have been a very dramatic touchdown for Miami to mount a comeback on. But look at this. Teague runs him down. Thomas is one of the fastest guys on the Miami roster.
Not only does he run him down, but he has the presence of mind to try to knock the ball loose, and he didn't knock it loose. He just stole it.
But the play was nullified by an offside penalty. And on top of this pile of humanity down there is big old 94, John Copeland. I was on the flight after the SEC championship game with Copeland and Curry. They went out to the Bob Hope show, and we found a way to put them up there where the seats are a little bigger. Dallas to Los Angeles, and I think they ate everything.
Well, they're roommates, Curry and Copeland.
They have 39 career sacks between them. And Torretta lets it fly. Kevin Williams cannot run it down. And at 4:51 to play in the game, Torretta walks off and into a very disconsolate gathering on the Miami side of the field. Ruth Ann Stallings, John Mark to the left there. Daughters, nice, close, lovely family. John Mark was the subject of a feature some time ago, one with Down syndrome. Loved by everybody who's known him. Brian Bergdorf checks in as the new quarterback and the principal backup to Jay Barker, and timeout at 4:51 to play in the game. But Alabama's going to finish this season with 13 wins. That's the most ever in a single season for the university. They have won 10 or more football games 22 times in a single season. No other school has had that many 10-win seasons. They have won 20 Southeastern Conference championships. And it's kind of like that old-timer said when he called me the other day, that we weren't too bad back in the teens and 20s and 30s.
Some people have said this year that Alabama had a soft schedule, and looking at it, 5 of their opponents up until this game had only 5 of 12 had winning records, but as it went on, as It looked like we're getting something ready here for Coach Stallings. As it went on, they beat the best that the SEC had to offer.
And the SEC is undefeated in postseason play.
Yes, they are.
5-0 so far. And look like they may be headed 6-0 if Mississippi State handles North Carolina. Bergdorf's an option man. And pretty quick, comes out of Cedartown, Georgia. And he's pretty close to a first down with that play. Yes, they have mixed the brew now for the coach. I hope he wore an elderly coat. He won't care. He brought an extra. Clock moves inside of 3 minutes now, and
number 19 there is a freshman quarterback, if you're wondering.
Chad Keith. He better be pretty accurate. He might be.
You got that right.
Driving the equipment. He might be working for Tank next year.
He looked awful young.
You can't help but feel sympathy for what's happened to the Miami team and Gino Torretta tonight. You have to, because they've had a very illustrious career.
Had a great run,
caved in on them.
Including the Heisman. There's Barker, who finishes up. He's 17 straight as a starter. He was 4 of 13 tonight for only 18 yards and had 2 intercepted. He rushed for 19 yards and passed for 18. So he actually ran for more yardage than he threw for.
Beal launched that one. Jonathan Harris let it go, and it's down at the 5-yard line by Alabama's Tommy Johnson. So when it's going right, sure does feel good. Tomorrow, NFL playoffs on ABC Sports, 12 noon, doubleheader, Washington at Minnesota and Kansas City at San Diego. Join us here on ABC Sports for the NFL wildcard playoffs, and hasn't Bobby Ross done something out in San Diego?
He certainly has.
Stan Humphries will play, we're told, for San Diego.
How about Dennis Green up in Minnesota?
Denny Green, 2 college coaches, stepped right into the NFL and done a terrific job.
Marty Schottenheimer's done a great job in Kansas City.
Right. 2.5 minutes. And a lot of folks have started home already, I'm sure, just to begin the partying, but Donnell Bennett runs it well up the middle and gets a first down across the 20-yard line for Miami. I would imagine by the time...
that's cold there. They're putting ice in the water now. That's
really
cold.
That's not too nice.
I mean, water's bad enough, but ice water.
There's Hootie now. Hootie's got a red coat on. That's liable to run.
Hootie better be smart and get away from the coach.
I noticed he's putting his glasses away. They smell something coming here. There's a quick shot to the sideline. The pass is complete to Jonathan Harris for about six yards.
Torretta now is, if you're interested, 22 of 49 for 235 yards, but the key number is the 3 interceptions that were turned into 3 touchdowns for Alabama.
There was a building story for this Alabama defense as we neared the end of the season, Bob. In 3 of its last 4 games, Torretta back. Pass is no good. Incomplete. In 3 of the last 4 games, Alabama held LSU to 22 yards rushing. Auburn got 20 yards, and Florida got 30 yards on the ground. So the proof was in the pudding pretty good.
Well, that's for sure, and they led the nation in run defense at Alabama defensively.
Miami has 22 today, including that last one by Bennett.
Well, you mentioned earlier, 7 of the SEC's all-conference defensive players are on the Alabama defensive team.
This is Larry Jones, who has not played tonight, sophomore out of Gainesville. A big back for the Canes at 235 pounds. And so the young people going to have to step up now and be counted actually on both teams come next season. For all intents and purposes, it looks like the national championship belongs to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Toretta lets it go. Lamar Thomas on the run, can't pull it down. Pass is incomplete. Executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's College Football, Bob Goodrich, who produced today's game. He was directed by Larry Camp. Good job, Larry. Technical director Gary Larkins, always good job by Gary. Associate producer for College Football, Jim Ressler. Associate director David Kiviat. Production manager Arthur Budagian. Technical operations managers Mark Smith and Hal Schmitz. Assistants to the producers Steve Shunk and Paula Coker. Our statistician Dave Burnson. Our spotter Todd Barry. They run the ball with Bennett. No, not Bennett. Jones. And Jones with fresh legs. Moving it up near midfield. Our computer stats, Mark Demento. We've got to go to cold Minnesota tomorrow. And our booth coordinator, Paula DeBleek, who goes to cold Minnesota and calls it home. And our sideline coordinator, Dick Shepard.
Great job, guys and gals.
And Jack Arute is leaving shortly to join the party in East Toboggan. Lamar Thomas was the target. Couldn't get it. In case you don't know, the Talladega racetrack's over there in East Toboggan. And maybe, arguably, the best chicken fried steak in the world.
Been over there, huh?
Yes, I have. There's the disappointment on the face of the young men of Miami. And a little flip. Jones breaks some tackles. And they finally wrestle him down just over midfield. And we're coming up on a minute to play in the football game. And so in the USF&G Sugar Bowl, number 2 has turned away number 1 tonight. And the coach of number 2 is about to get soused. Just doused and quenched. That thing is full of water. And I think he knows it's finished. Oh, it's a shot. Loretta lets it go. Pass is caught by Chris Jones down inside the 10, and Miami has a chance to put another touchdown on the board. But the frivolity has started on the Alabama side. The celebration has begun. I don't think that Alabama's going to really care a whole lot whether or not Miami puts it in the end zone here.
Well, Alabama's defense has not been scored on tonight. The one touchdown Miami did have was on a punt return.
Let's see, who'd he put by? Did you put the big guys back in? No. Some are in there. Langham is in. I see Johnson in. Yeah, a lot of them are back in there. Copeland and Curry are not. This is Larry Jones. And he pounds his way down inside the 5. Valuable player has been named by the media. Miller Digby, most outstanding player ballot handed to me, says Derek Lassick of Alabama, who had 28 carries for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. The time remaining in the ball game, 10 seconds. Pass is incomplete.
Well, there's no question that Lassick is deserving for what he has done, but I'll tell you what, there's some players on that Alabama defense that certainly needed some strong consideration. Tommy Johnson, George Teague.
Ruthie just can't. She's a nice lady.
She sure is. Yeah, you can finally raise that finger and say we're number 1.
To the corner for Jones. Got it.
No, he's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Nice call.
Game's over. Alabama defeats Miami. Number 2 beats number 1, 34-13. And I'm going to say it for the second time. I do believe Teague Stallings has succeeded. So there. Jack Arute with a man who was very prominent in tonight's ball game, George Teague.
Well, George, first of all, even though it was called back for an offsides, describe how you made that great steal from Thomas.
Oh, wow. It was very exciting. I thought he was going to score. I had to pick it up a little bit. I was fortunate enough to get my hand in, rip it out, and hold on to it and try to run.
And then the key play of the game, absolutely. Take us through the interception.
Oh, I've been dreaming of one of those for about 4 years now. Gino, he just happened to throw it right to me. They had nobody in front of me. Went in for a score.
You know, all year you had to read in the polls, Miami number 1, Miami number 1. There was one guy in Arizona said that Alabama was number 1. How sweet is this victory tonight?
I'll tell you what, it's so sweet. If I have 5 pounds of sugar, I can take it all in right now.
I think that says it all, Keith.
Well, they didn't stumble into it. They didn't back into it. They just whipped Miami 34-13. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Jack Arute, we hope you enjoyed it. We wish all of you a happy and prosperous and healthy New Year.
In order, and, you know, I planned dinner at my house.
I see. With a record of 10-2, ranked number 6 in the AP poll.
Played in the Fiesta.
He's done an outstanding job up there in the Orange Dome, Carrier Dome.
Yeah, he's really, he's kind of spread it out, you know, the recruiting as well for Syracuse, and that's something that's extremely important. You start spreading out, branching out around the country and attracting kids from different areas of the country.
Oh, a bad shank off the foot of Jason Elam. I bet you folks in Hawaii didn't see that happen in about 4 years. A third-team All-American punter, but he shanked one there. The East takes over, leading 7-0.
Which publication tells you about hundreds of great jobs open across the country right now? High-paying professional, managerial, and technical jobs. The National Business Employment Weekly. Which publication helps you land one of those jobs with articles on how to sharpen your resume, how to shine in interviews, how to market yourself. The National Business Employment Weekly. Which publication helps you do better after you land a great job, get along with your boss, get a raise, get promoted. The National Business Employment Weekly, published by the Wall Street Journal. It's all you need besides your own ability to land and do well in the kind of job you've been looking for, in a part of the country you'll enjoy at a salary you can be proud of. It's all you need. Get the National Business Employment Weekly at your newsstand, or order by credit card and get 8 issues by first-class mail for $35. Call 800-372-3000. 800-372-3000. The National Business Employment Weekly. Don't make a career move without it.
Coming March 4th, and you picked a winner when the American Sports Awards unite all of sport in one big ceremony. Be involved. Watch SportsCenter beginning Monday evening on ESPN.
Pick up the phone for the latest sports news from ESPN anytime, day or night.
95 cents per minute. Call 1-900-976-ESPN.
Welcome back to what they call the Big Egg here in Tokyo, the Tokyo Dome.
I don't know how they squeeze it in the spaces that it's in. It's in a tighter spot than anybody's ever been to the Metrodome up in Minneapolis.
There's a big amusement park right next door.
There's another dome going up in Osaka about, what, about 70, 80 miles south of here.
First down for the East at midfield. Shane Matthews, the quarterback. He will wing it out to the right side, and it is complete but out of bounds. The man on the receiving end, James Jett of West Virginia. That is a very appropriate last name.
He only had one afterburner on that one, though. That's why he went out of bounds.
He was on the 4x100 meter team, the relay team at Barcelona. Fastest man in college football.
Top of the screen, and he was the guy that left the frame the fastest. You see here, he's looking over his shoulder. He realizes that he's got to go out of bounds to catch that one.